Exterior Remodeling Company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Here's a penny for your thoughts. There's about 11,000 tire-related crashes every year.
Mostly due to driving around on underinflated, beat-up, worn-out tires with low tread.
A couple of clicks at richlawns.com will get you scheduled for a free tire tread test.
But if you're pressed for time, there's an old trick we use in the tire industry that'll tell you if you need tires.
And that's free, too.
My dad showed me, who learned it from his dad, who learned it from someone else way back in 1964.
Ah, yes. The old penny test.
Yep, just place a penny head first.
As in upside down.
Into the groove of your tire. Now, if you can see the top of Lincoln's head, you're due for tires.
And hey, if the free penny test frazzles you, book an appointment at richlawns.com.
If your tires are good,
no harm, no foul, because it won't cost you a penny. Be safe, buckle up, and hang. Always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. I'm Brett Matchke with Rich Lawns. You're
due for service.
Such a refreshing change. Rich Lawns.
Debbie Lazaga here for Kohler Services. If you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. This month only, get zero interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Luxtone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote, with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs
and Cindy Storm Fisher with Storm Fisher Investment Group.
Are you a retiring professional? Worried about the direction of our economy? About making your money last?
Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement.
We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Osaic Wealth, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Arbor Point Advisors, LLC, APA. Osaic Wealth and APA are separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth and APA.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. Your family, your memories, our priority. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
Is thinning hair or receding hairline making you feel self-conscious? Try Hair Grow from New Nordic. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start feeling your best with Hair Grow.
Protect mom's assets. Protect your assets. Call Kraus Estate Planning, estateplanningpeople.com.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
6 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Wednesday, October 16th, our top story. MPS takes another loss inside and outside the classroom.
I'm Erik Bilstad. A homeless shelter changes missions.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Everything seems to be rolling along pretty well so far this morning. No incidents and no slow spots just yet. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast. Morning freeze, then sunshine and a high of just 56 degrees. Clear, chilly, and frost inland once again tonight. Tonight's low 37 lakeside, right at the freezing mark, away from Lake Michigan. Right now, Milwaukee at 38 degrees. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, more financial trouble could be on the way for the state's largest school district. State Department of Public Instruction giving MPS $587 million in general aid this year, but that's millions less than what the district expected.
The total is roughly $8 million short of what the district estimated in its proposed budget. Last year, MPS received almost $50 million more in funding. Department of Public Instruction Interim Communications Director Chris Bucher says that's based on all districts' prior year student counts, financial data, and property values. An amended budget will be brought forward to the Board of School Directors on October 29th. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
Trouble now finding a pair of MPS schools on the football field. The WIAA ruling that both Bayview and Pulaski High School must forfeit all of their games this year after district administrators failed to submit the proper paperwork to change conferences. 4 members of the Milwaukee Common Council now issuing a statement criticizing the office's commissioner, Bobby Kelsey. And in addition to forfeiting the games, both schools have been banned from the playoffs for 2 years.
Wisconsin's finances in good shape. The Department of Administration reporting the state ended the last fiscal year with a budget surplus of $4.6 billion. Report also said the state's so-called rainy day fund sits at $1.9 billion. Largest in Wisconsin history. On the heels of the report released on Tuesday, State Superintendent of Public Instruction, Dr. Jill Underly, called for an increase in school funding. Record number of school referendums this year on both spring and fall elections.
Teenager from Milwaukee County accused of making a bomb threat towards Slinger High School. The FBI says the teenager posted that threat on Snapchat just before noon on Monday. The threat led to an early dismissal for Slinger High School and the elementary school. Law enforcement swept the building Monday, ruled the threat was not credible. Classes have since resumed.
Homeless encampments are leading to the closure of several park and rides. Milwaukee County law enforcement have responded to nearly 300 calls for assault, theft, shots fired, drug overdoses, all since July. How are other Wisconsin cities handling homelessness? Pearl Webster of Safe Shelter in Green Bay telling Wisconsin's Afternoon News they're transforming that shelter into a treatment center.
We're trying to get to the preventive stage, the education phase, the wraparound services that are going to provide the services before they get to the point where the devastating outcomes of addictions.
Webster says architectural work is in progress to upgrade the facility for providing substance abuse treatment.
Milwaukee County Parks removes the plaque on Milwaukee's last ancient indigenous burial mound.
The plaque was placed at Lake Park in 1910 at the request of the Wisconsin Archaeological Society to indicate a 2,000-year-old burial site. But the plaque was situated at the highest point of the mound, which inadvertently encouraged visitors to walk on the site in order to read the marker. This disturbs the sacredness of the mound and defaces its surface. After holding discussion with professionals, Milwaukee County Parks initiated a respectful process to remove the marker, and they plan to restore the turf disturbed during excavation. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Coming up, encouraging voting one beat at a time. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 6:04.
Hi, I'm Lori from Sussex, and I'm a future resident of the Westerly. The pool was the big draw for me. I'm also looking forward to the camaraderie on the rooftop patio, and I might have to take up golf. Well, I have specific needs and looked at quite a few retirement communities, and nothing really checked off all the boxes until I learned about the Westerly. I'm confident now that I made the right decision.
If you're seeking Lake Country's finest, don't miss out on the Westerly, opening this spring. Visit livingwesterly.com.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Questions you might hear a lot this fall. Will my team make the playoffs? How much snow are we getting this winter? And whatever happened to Tammy Baldwin? After 25 years in D.C., Baldwin sides with the extreme left. Baldwin voted to give nearly $1 billion in COVID relief money to criminals in prison, even the Boston Marathon bomber. That's nuts. And she supports forcing women's domestic violence shelters to admit biological men who claim to be women. Baldwin even backed puberty blockers and sex change surgeries for minor children in Wisconsin. So here's one more question. Now that Baldwin's gone so far left, why should we keep her in the Senate? It's time to replace Tammy Baldwin. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Annex Wealth Management. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Forget commission sales pitches and financial products you don't need. Know the difference. Annex provides elite, comprehensive financial planning customized to who you are and what you need. AnnexWealth.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 6:06.
Packers are about to sign a new kicker. We've got that in sports at 6:15.
Decision Wisconsin, a new Marquette University Law School poll. A national survey is out right now. Came out this morning. And it finds that the race for president, Vice President Kamala Harris, is the choice for 48%, and Republican former President Donald Trump is the choice of 47%. So it's 48-47 among likely voters, with 4% saying they would vote for somebody else. Now, when those who would vote for someone else or not vote are asked whom they would support, if they had to choose between the two, both Harris and Trump received 50% among likely voters.
Two judges just ruled in the past 24 hours on Republican attempts to change the election process in battleground state of Georgia. ABC's Rachel Scott.
One ruling from a judge struck down a decision by a board stacked with Trump allies that would have allowed election officials to delay or decline to certify results after Election Day if they believed that there was some type of fraud or error. Then another ruling came down late Tuesday night, and this all had to do with a push by Republicans to change the tally process. Republicans made this push for the votes to be hand counted. A judge overnight blocking this rule, saying that it came too much too late, especially now that we're just about 3 weeks out from the election.
A local DJ may be playing hits at your polling place next month.
DJs at the Polls is a national, nonpartisan effort designed to get more people to vote. Here in Milwaukee, the goal is to have a DJ at almost every polling location. Local DJ Erik is one of them.
Obviously, we're not playing anything hyper politically charged. We're not playing anything with dirty versions. This is a family-friendly event. It's not your bleeding volumes. We literally use one speaker, and we have to follow all local laws.
The thought is that voting is something that should be celebrated. The group says there's evidence music at the polls works.
Just even initially, it was a 3% bump at local polling places that they had in Pennsylvania. So, granted, not an astronomical number. We're not sending 500 billion people to the polls immediately, but you got to start somewhere.
Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
Coming up, is it a big announcement or a big fat nothing burger? Find out later today. That's next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for a holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac, where the SUV season sales event is on. Perfect timing to gear up for fall and winter driving. Get more Mazda for your money, more for your trade, and score enticing offers. Well-qualified buyers lock in finance rates as low as 0% on all-wheel drive favorites, including the invigorating Mazda CX-5 or CX-30, off-road ready Mazda CX-50, roomy and responsive 3-row Mazda CX-90, and more. Connect with Holiday and discover car buying that makes fans of drivers from all over the Badger State and beyond. Fans like me. And this guy.
This is professional running back Braylon Allen, and I drive Holiday. It's impressive how easy car buying can be with Team Holiday on your side.
I agree. That's the way it works at Holiday, and why I encourage you to check them out. Treat yourself to a test drive, find yours, and drive it home today from Wisconsin's #1. Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac and at holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
At 6:10, how about a first look at the cars, Debbie?
Well, we do have a pretty good ride shaping up right now. We've got light volume around the area, no incidents up on the board, so I think we're moving along just fine. Everybody's in good shape. That's your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Freezing temperatures this morning with a freeze warning until 9 a.m. After that, sunshine will help warm us up into the mid-50s this afternoon. As we look towards tonight, temperatures will drop back down under clear skies into the 30s near freezing inland, mid to upper 30s closer towards the lake. Thursday, the sunshine helps us once again. High temperatures in the mid-60s. We get warmer on Friday. All-day sunshine with high temperatures in the upper 60s. The weekend looks beautiful. A great time to get outside. High temperatures in the lower 70s on Saturday with mostly sunny skies. Sunday, mostly sunny as well with high temperatures in the low to mid-70s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 38 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
6:11 a Wednesday morning seems like a lot of people for a nothing burger, but there are other signs that point to this not being a very big deal today. What are we talking about? FPC Live and the Milwaukee Bucks have a news conference today regarding the music venue that is under construction just to the south of Fiserv Forum. So you know this. This is a scaled-back Plan E than the original, but still kind of a big deal. 4,000-seat capacity venue, or I shouldn't even really say seats. It's going to be more like standing concerts. Concerts that are too big for like Marcus Center, Riverside, Pabst. Pabst only about 1,300 seats.
Okay.
Marcus Center, 2,100. We have 2,400 at the Riverside.
We have that new one at Potawatomi, right?
Yeah, and I'm not sure. I
One's
don't know
bigger,
capacity on that one. But so for an act that might be bigger than 2,000, but not near big enough for an arena, would be in the neighborhood of a few hundred people more than the Rave Eagles Club Ballroom right now. Anyway, FPC Live is the umbrella for Frank Productions and Live Nation. So those are the concerts to be booked in this venue. And we're bringing this up today because they have a to-do, a news conference at 11 a.m.
Yes.
Now, you know me. What we both try to do on the show is don't want to wait for the news conference, always work on our people, sources, try to get at least a flavor of what's going to happen.
Tell you what to expect in the news today.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know.
Come on.
There are conflicting signs, and I'll share them with you, things that would suggest there is significant news to be had here.
Okay.
Attending the news conference today, Joel Plant, CEO of Frank Productions, Peter Fagan, president of the Bucks and Fiserv Forum. The mayor's going to be there. Alderman Bob Bauman is going to be there.
His
Peggy
district.
Williams-Smith, president and CEO, visit Milwaukee. That's a lot of busy people with schedules to coordinate just to get them here. If it's just going to be we're on time, on budget. Just want to let you know.
Oftentimes, though, news conferences just have people that, hey, I got to have some FaceTime. I just got to be able to stand there and smile.
Yes.
So is that what this is?
Well, so even in that, it's a little bit of a mixed signal. I lit up 3 sources trying to get some info on what's ahead today. And these are people who've traditionally told me things about, okay, here's something. Sometimes it's I can put their name on it. Sometimes it's you can't say I told you, but here's what it's about.
And you trust them.
Right. So nobody's talking.
Well, what would that mean?
So it either means that it's such a big deal that nobody wants to step on anybody or get out in front of it, or there are a lot of entities here and they just don't want to jeopardize anything or speak out of turn. Or it's so not a big deal that if they tell me, we wouldn't even bother talking about it. And I don't know which it is.
Oh, man, I hope it's not the latter.
I'm leaning toward the latter.
Oh, okay.
Just like, hey, we're on time, we're on budget, and now we're going to start putting in these beams. Now you're going to start to see the construction going.
And that, by the way, does happen. We do have those types of news conferences quite often.
And what someone who's closely involved in a project deems a really big announcement versus what the rest of us going about our business and everyday life think is a big announcement are often two very different things.
So your suggestion that maybe Coldplay is going to be announced today.
I do think, you know what you could do is if all it is some of these beams are going to be going up, but also you have perhaps a first concert announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Violent Femmes. Right. So, who would it be?
Of course it would be, right? It'd be somebody local.
The Guffs.
Bodines are getting back together, right? It better not be. So that is happening regardless. We'll find out at 11 o'clock this morning. Sports up next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Kohler Services and Gadish Foundation. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. At 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact NX Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at nxwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Don't you just love to do the laundry? Right, if that probably doesn't speak to you. You might not mind as much when you get Inspired Closets Milwaukee to custom design a new space for you. How about adding a folding counter, a drying rack, hanging station, cubbies, shelves, cabinets for all your supplies? Need inspiration? It's all right there at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com. Ideas for how to create your space and even ballpark estimates on the cost of doing a project like this. And then you get Inspired Closets, their design team, to build a virtual plan for your project so you can see it and price it out before you buy. And then you get my friends Katie and Dan to knock 10% off the cost of your project or give you free financing for 18 months when you tell them Vinny sent you. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets, InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
I present to you Green Bay Packers head coach Matt LaFleur on Monday.
Considering a move this week at kicker?
I wouldn't say that right now, no.
Would you say that right now? Packers, reported by ESPN's Adam Schefter first, a host of other sources now confirming, worked out, and are intending to sign former Jaguar, former Denver Bronco, Brandon McManus, career 81% field goal kicker over 10 seasons. The Jags let him go after he was accused of sexual assault on a team flight, which he denies. The league late last month clearing him to play after investigating. So that's how he became available.
Okay.
So the league did not have any disciplinary action following their investigation. Official announcement of the release of rookie Braden Narveson and the signing of Brandon McManus expected today.
We hardly knew ye, Nervison.
Oh, dang. Isn't this the guy who's a pilot?
He's also a type 1 diabetic, as my brother. I was rooting for him.
I know he was. Well, maybe he can go to your walk on Saturday.
Now
he's available.
Now I don't want him.
Now you don't want him. Didn't you used to be?
Also, are you good with this guy? It sounds like he's got a little... can you call that a checkered history?
I mean, he's obviously working through some stuff, and the Packers... Look, involved in some of the conversations that I've been with people who run teams, they are loath to take even a chance. They did their own homework. They probably have done their own investigation. They probably have assurances from the league that the league thoroughly invested his case, and maybe there's nothing there. Maybe there just simply wasn't enough evidence. But either way, he's ready to move on, and apparently the Packers are confident in that.
All right. Whiteout conditions at Lambeau Field this weekend. It's the team's first ever winter warning game.
Okay,
so the team's wearing all white. So this is, you know how they made news where they're going to have like the white helmets, the white shirt, white pants, and all that stuff. They're going to wear that this weekend against the Texans at Lambeau, and to help create the blizzard-like effect in the stadium in honor of this game, the team is asking all attendees to wear white.
Oh, fan participation.
Yeah, Packers fans wear white to the game for that whiteout winter warning game condition.
What a juxtaposition. It's going to be like 70 degrees, I think, on Sunday.
Well, because you couldn't wear white if it was actually really cold out because you'd have to bundle up.
Yeah, you got to wear whatever you got.
Yeah.
Maybe it's blaze orange. Maybe it's a heavy Packers coat, but you got to wear whatever you got when it gets late.
Put on the white attire.
Milwaukee Admirals have their home opener Saturday night at the arena. Always exciting. All fan giveaway includes an Admirals rally towel that team president John Greenberg is super excited about.
They're actually really nice. I mean, compared to some of the rally towels that we've received over the past from other teams, this is a high-quality product.
A high-quality towel.
You're not
right
just
here.
going to go and start washing your car with
So you
this
take that to the beach.
That's right.
They are nicey. If you're watching along with us on YouTube this morning, I have said towel here.
It's pretty sweet.
It says, "Let's go Admirals." Mm-hmm. But it's a quality material. Go ahead and just, so sometimes with these rally towels, when you whip them around, they fray and then you get the fuzz all in the thing. I don't think that's going to happen here with this here towel.
No, you're right.
That's a nice towel.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Fans leaving will get an Admirals magnetic schedule for the 2024-25 season. Oh, by the way, we have hockey for you Saturday night.
Then we're going to play some hockey against what I think is going to be a pretty good Rockford team. So Blackhawks affiliate, and I expect that's going to be a good rivalry this year.
Yeah, Rockford Ice Hogs will get things going on home ice for the Ads. Puck drops at 6 o'clock.
The Upswing is your place for commerce and community.
I'm guessing one of the plans is, hey, can we do this on a retail level, maybe local, maybe scale it regionally, maybe nationally? Is that something that you're analyzing?
Definitely something to think about down the road.
Hosted by Jeff Sherman.
But I think right now, I like the idea of not being in the big stores and keeping that smaller feel, specialty feel.
Weekdays from 10 to 11 on WTMJ. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic, and I didn't realize how often I was having headaches until they largely went away due to my care with Dr. Alex Young and his team at Connect Chiropractic. Getting headaches every day is not okay, and pills is not a solution. They can help you deal, but they don't fix the problem. I talk a lot about the many benefits of chiropractic care, but most folks are looking for relief from headaches, back, neck, shoulder, all of those things, feeling so much better for me, and they can for you too. Docs use a special tool to make all of the adjustments, so no twisting, no cracking, no popping. Also, no more pain pills, and what a relief. In Delafield and Wauwatosa, get started now at Go Connect Chiro. That's GoConnectChiro.com.
It's bird bashing season when you swoop into Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to a wicked 50 grand cash in the Bird Bash Game Show. Just play with your rewards card all October for entries. All Bird Bash entries go towards a December 20th giveaway with a monstrous 300 grand in prizes. Bird Bash makes its bewitching return. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's Dave from Feldco. Did drafty windows make last winter frigid? Listen, Feldco's here to make things easier for you. It's the perfect time of year to replace those old windows. Right now, get 50% off windows plus no money down and no interest for 1 year. Visit us at 4feldco.com or give us a call at 866-4FELDCO.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866-4FELDCO.
Checking in with Debbie here at 622.
All right, we're still looking pretty good out there. Volume's just starting to wake up. Overall, though, no delays out there per se. We don't really have even any incidents either. So everything's looking pretty good so far. And while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Morning freeze today.
My name is Freeze. Learn it well.
Only on our way to a high of 56 degrees. Tonight, clear, chilly, and frost away from Lake Michigan as low temperatures will dip to 37 by the lake, 32 degrees inland. Sunny and nice for your Thursday with a high of 64. And Friday, sunshine and mild temps, high 68. Right now, Milwaukee at 38 degrees. Getting it going here on a Wednesday, Election Day, November 5th, but in-person absentee voting, what a lot of folks just call early voting, begins in Wisconsin next week. This is more than 250,000 ballots have already been cast in our state. Absentee votes mailed in or recovered from drop boxes by clerks. That data updated regularly from the Wisconsin Elections Commission. So we have 250,000 people who already either mailed in a ballot or filled one out and threw it in the drop box, and that's been registered as collected. They don't start counting them yet.
Have you figured out your plan yet? Are you voting on election day?
I think I'll vote absentee early, just in case.
Where you go in person absentee?
Yeah. But, with Election Day for us,
it's a busy day for us.
And you just don't want to get to a point of I thought I was going to get home and then I didn't, and then they asked me to stay. Whatever.
Right.
So for me, I think that'll be my plan. Days, locations, hours for in-person absentee voting vary by community. So you want to check with your local clerk's offices that if that's your plan on how you want to vote. All about the ground game at this point. Who is changing someone's mind? Like, think about this of someone who might be politically opposite of you. Have a conversation with that person and try to get him or her to come on over to your side. How does that go?
It's not happening.
It's not happening, right? Well, the campaigns know this as well. And what they've realized in these recently razor-tight races, as this one for president appears to be again, is that the play is not so much to focus on trying to change people's minds about the candidates, but to focus on changing their minds about whether or not they're going to vote. Marquette University Law School poll just out today. You had some of the numbers from that earlier.
National survey, yep.
National survey, and one of the questions they ask is, this is voter enthusiasm. Here's how they ask the question. How enthusiastic are you about voting in the elections in November 2024 for president and other offices? Would you say you are very, somewhat, not too, or not at all enthusiastic? 18% of registered voters who identify as Democrats said they were not too or not at all enthusiastic about voting in the election. 20% of Republicans said the same. That's the election.
That's a lot, yeah.
That's the election. In states like Wisconsin, where last couple have been decided by fewer than 30,000 votes, that could be the margin. Whichever side does a better job of getting that 18 to 20% who otherwise probably support their candidate to actually get out there and vote and cast a ballot, that is the turn. It's the margin. So what are they doing about it? Everybody you talk to is getting a knock at the door, maybe multiple. And not from the candidates, for your local office, school board or whatever. Hey,
they'll walk from place
John
to place.
Shinneland in here. Just want to introduce myself. And then some of the larger office candidates will do that. But if you're, is Senator Baldwin going door to door or whatever for a statewide race? Not likely. Might be some ground game there. But you're getting knocks at the door from either special interest groups or the campaigns themselves. And we had one the other day that was interesting to me. And it was interesting because I answered the door, and this person was not there to talk to me.
What do you mean?
So I answered the door knock. I think it was a Friday afternoon, and it was a woman, and wearing like the vest and a lanyard, and looking official of some kind, right? And she says, "Hi, is there a Nicole Vitrano here?" That's my wife. And I'm like, absolutely, she would love to come talk to you. She's right over here.
I would kill Brian if he did that to me.
Like, it's for you. She's like, who is it? I'm like, I don't know. It's for you.
But it's not my problem.
It ain't my problem. So my wife goes, she has a real brief conversation. She comes back in. I'm like, what's up? She goes, someone, she wanted to know who I was voting for. I said, okay. I'm like, what did you tell her? She's like, well, I said, I don't care to share that information. She said, okay, thank you. And was polite enough. And I believe they're trained to do this. They're not there to be combative with people.
Right. To be argumentative.
So my theory, I'm like, well, did you ask who she was working for? Like, now I'm interested. Like the reporter in me is like, I want information. This is a thing. And she didn't. But so this is my thought on what this person was up to. Probably someone affiliated with one side or another who was there to get out the vote specifically because for one reason or another, my wife is on some list somewhere.
Okay.
Right?
And as a female in Greendale,
right,
and also on a list.
Or due to some
target.
prior affiliation with some other group. So maybe you were in a public employees union, or maybe you volunteered for a campaign at one point or another. Somehow, some way, you're on a list of being likely to vote for this particular side, and that particular side is there to find you, because this person didn't want anything to do with me. She wasn't there taking a survey. She was there to talk to some person whom she thought was likely to vote for their side. And had she said, yes, I'm voting for your candidate or whatever, there probably would have been here's how you get an absentee ballot.
Yeah,
here
how
are the
can I help
hours.
you?
Right. Here are the hours at your club. What's your plan for voting? So they could get that one more vote. And this is the ground game that's so fascinating and going on right now. You had a door knock.
Yeah,
that was more survey.
He was like, "Hey, I'd love to ask you a couple of questions about the election," and I'm like, I kind of work for the media, so I'm not. And he's like, "Okay, no problem." And then he was gone. It was great. It was the best quick visit ever.
News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average was down about 325 points in trading on Tuesday, closed at 42,740. The NASDAQ down 187 points to 18,316, and the S&P 500 closed at 5815. That was off about 45 points. You can get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com. Bottom of the hour headlines just ahead from ABC News.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at Right Choice Tax Resolution Services. We have recently talked with a number of new clients who told us the same story. They had a tax situation and went with one of those national firms with the TV and radio ads. You know the ones. They guarantee they can settle your tax owed for pennies on the dollar. They take a $10,000 fee up front, and then you never hear from them again. We are a local firm and just want to help you resolve your situation so you can get on with your life. Don't let your bank account get wiped out, your paycheck or Social Security check get garnished, or a lien put on your house so you can't sell it or get refinanced. The state can even put a hold on your occupational license. What happens when the hospital finds out your nursing license is suspended or you can't sell insurance anymore? Make the right choice and call 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us today. Schedule a free meeting so we can talk and come up with a solution to solve your situation now. If you wait, it will not go away. The first meeting is free. Call now, 844-222-1192, or visit rightchoicetax.us.
The surgeons that I know are good people. They just want to do what they can to help you feel better. And the surgeries they perform can do wonders for their patients. But medicine's a business, and surgery is the big ticket item. And there are surgeries that are absolutely necessary. In almost all cases, a total knee replacement isn't one of them. It's a last resort. So before you opt for a total knee replacement, if you haven't been to Rejuvenex, you may find that we have treatments that can give you the relief you're looking for. They're FDA approved, and they can alleviate pain, in many cases significantly. And insurance could cover a big portion of, if not all of our treatment costs. The osteoarthritic pain you're feeling will only worsen, and that's why you should take action now. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. Georgia voters breaking records. 30,000 people turned out on the first day of early voting. That's more than double the number in 2020. Former President Trump asked some tough questions about his proposed tariffs Tuesday during a conversation moderated by Bloomberg's editor-in-chief, John Mickelwait.
The former president out on the campaign trail, he promises widespread tariffs on all imported goods. Economists have warned that that's not going to be good for the economy, that it's actually going to have devastating impacts on consumers across the country. Trump was pressed for specific details to show that he could prove otherwise, and he didn't exactly have that.
ABC's Rachel Scott. The Biden administration giving Israel a 30-day deadline to increase aid in northern Gaza or lose future U.S. military funding. The number of customers still without power in Florida after Hurricane Milton down from millions to just over 70,000. Governor Ron DeSantis praising recovery efforts, saying power has never been restored so quickly to so many after a storm. This is ABC News.
We've got a pretty good ride shaping up. East and westbound 94 full freeway speeds. We've got really no delays really anywhere, and incidents are not on the board, so we're looking good. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Freeze warning this morning and then sunshine with a high of just 56 degrees. Clear and chilly is your storm team forecast for tonight with some frost expected inland. Inland temperature will dip down to the freezing mark, stay a little bit warmer if you're right near Lake Michigan. Right now it's 38 degrees in Milwaukee, and from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, trial for a man from Greenfield accused of killing his infant daughter is now underway. 54-year-old Roger Schrader, who used to perform as Silly the Clown, was the last person with his daughter before a 911 call was made. This was years ago. First responders say the 7-week-old was found unresponsive inside the family's apartment in Greenfield back in 1991. Medical examiner found that Catherine Schrader had died from blunt force trauma. She was Schrader was charged with homicide shortly after. Among those to take the stand on the opening day of the trial were retired first responders, including former Greenfield Fire Chief Gary Bauer, who responded to that 911 call. Testimony set to resume later this morning.
Former grade school aide in Kenosha County no longer has a job. Anna Marie Crocker was an employee at Riverview School in Silver Lake. She was fired this week after allegedly sexually assaulting a student. The victim in this case are young boys, one just 12 years old. She faces charges in that case.
Cleanup and recovery efforts still underway in Florida. Spots hard hit by Hurricane Milton. More than 3 million Florida residents were without power at the peak of the storm. That number now down by 60%. Crew from Wisconsin is helping.
We Energy's operations manager Nate Scarians is among the crew from Wisconsin helping restore power in the Tampa area.
After the hurricane came through, we came through the next day.
A staging area is set up for all assisting crews, nearly 700 people in total, at a community college near Raymond James Stadium. Crews are given their assignment each morning before getting out to work. A welcome sight for residents.
That's a big motivator for us. As soon as they see our trucks rolling up, the customers are coming out. We had a bunch of pizza bought for us yesterday.
The Wisconsin crew is working in conjunction with crews from New York, Rhode Island, and as far west as California. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
A strike among brewery workers comes to an end. Machinists back at work at Molson Coors Beverage Company after reaching an agreement. Molson Coors says the 43 union members of International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers Lot 66 ended the strike last week.
Hundreds of Boeing's employees still are striking as the company's work stoppage enters its second month now. It's about 33,000 of Boeing's unionized West Coast machinists have been on strike since September 13th. They're demanding a 40% wage increase over 4 years. Hundreds of workers packed the main International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers Hall in a show of solidarity Tuesday afternoon. Jeff Cook is a quality inspector with 28 years at Boeing.
I thought it was great. It's going to show somebody in corporate something, that we're not just going to lie down. We've been lying down for them for 16 years, and it's just not going to fly anymore.
Rally came the same day that Boeing signaled that it could raise up to $25 billion by issuing new stock or debt over the next 3 years.
Coming up, what's that ominous sound to the north?
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:35. Traffic is sponsored by Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield. Visit holtebeck.com.
Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield is excited to welcome Dr. Nausheen Abbas to their team. Dr. Abbas is an ophthalmologist and cornea specialist. Learn more at holtebeck.com.
News is sponsored by Wachtell's Tree Service. Visit healthytrees.com.
Did you know Wachtell Tree Science works all year long, even through the winter? Now's the time to have one of their ISA certified arborists inspect your trees for pruning, insect, or disease issues. And winter is actually the perfect time to prune your trees while they're dormant. Don't wait until spring. Plan ahead for a healthy, beautiful yard. Visit healthytrees.com today. That's healthytrees.com. Wachtell Tree Science, keeping trees healthy and beautiful since 1935.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
We found that the high road is worth the climb, and it's less crowded.
At Semperfi, everything we do is done to the best of our ability. There are no shortcuts. It's pretty simple. We do what we say we're going to do because we fully understand that a reputation is never given. It's always earned. It is in our nature to keep our values intact so that when we leave your job, you'll be right there to shake our hand with satisfaction. We've installed massive flat roofs and shingled huge churches, schools, and all kinds of homes from modest to extravagant, all with integrity and pride in our work. And we're going to keep doing it for generations to come. That's what Always Faithful means to us. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semperfi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semperfi.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:37.
A whiteout coming to Lambeau Field on Sunday. Sports at 6:45.
What's that sound in Port Washington? The siren just kept going and going. You would have thought there was a tornado or some type of storm in Port Washington.
Good thing we didn't have stormy weather.
You're right.
Because that would have really freaked people out. Instead, they were just annoyed.
Well, if you were to read the Facebook page for the Port Washington Police Department, it says, "We at the police department are aware that the tornado siren on the west end of the city is actively going off."
Stop calling 911.
Just going and going and going. A call for service has been made, and we hope it can be rectified soon. Unfortunately, this activation is of no fault to anyone turning it on, therefore it cannot just be turned off. See, that part, I bet you could turn it off.
Can't you just pull a plug?
Or snip the line or something?
Until you get it fixed, right.
Yeah.
For 2 hours.
Yeah. And then
Are you annoyed yet?
Rural area like that, too. I mean, that sound can travel. So the calls came in. Emergency management was all over it. The police department's trying to say, like, hey, look, guys, it's not our fault. We'll call someone. They'll take care of it.
I always love the statements from authorities. Yes, we are aware. Because they've gone crazy with the calls coming in. Yes, we know.
We ask that you do not call dispatch or the police to notify us that the siren is active. Oh, can you imagine? All day.
Oh, it stopped. 6:39 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Still coming up, the kids can't play, and it's not their fault. That story next.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Creepy crawlies, or worse, critters. Vince Vitrano for your best pest defense, the Bugman and Queen Bee. Also the best name in local pest control. Local family, veteran owned and operated. Just called over there the other day. They're going to come out tomorrow to the house. Talk with Julie. She's the one who answers the phone over there. She'll walk you through all of it. She says, all right, what do you got? Tell me what you got at your house. I told her, well, ants and spiders. She also said box elders and centipedes, also trouble for a lot of folks this time of year. Said, all right, I've also maybe got some burrow holes around the house, some kind of critters trying to get in. She said, we can take care of rodents. We can take care of rats. Whatever you got over there, we got you. I don't think it's rats, but either way, the Bugman and Queen Bee, they've got time to get you in this fall before the invaders make a home in your home. 262-633-3411, 262-633-3411, bugmanqueenbee.com.
Hi, I'm Tony Drake. Are you sure you're getting the most out of Social Security benefits? At Drake & Associates, we know that maximizing your Social Security is critical for a secure retirement. With the right strategy, you can potentially increase your lifetime benefits and secure a better future. But navigating the rules and timing can be complex. Don't leave your benefits to chance. Text SS to 414-409-9982 today to schedule a complimentary consultation and receive a free retirement ready toolkit. That's SS to 414-409-9982. Drake & Associates. Plan smart, retire happy.
Drake & Associates is an independent investment advisory firm that offers different investment vehicles. All insurance products are backed by the issuing insurance company. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only.
It's chili season. Sendix is featuring Black Angus ground chuck for just $3.99 per pound. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendix Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. What's happening, Deb?
Just a little bit of a slow ride westbound 94 from 27th Street into the Stadium interchange. Overall, the rest of the system is looking pretty good. Just building volume around the area. No incidents still up on the board, so we're in good shape. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Freezing temperatures this morning with a freeze warning until 9 a.m. After that, sunshine will help warm us up into the mid-50s this afternoon. As we look towards tonight, temperatures will drop back down under clear skies into the 30s near freezing inland, mid to upper 30s closer towards the lake. Thursday, the sunshine helps us once again. High temperatures in the mid-60s. We get warmer on Friday. All-day sunshine with high temperatures in the upper 60s. The weekend looks beautiful. A great time to get outside. High temperatures in the lower 70s on Saturday with mostly sunny skies. Sunday, mostly sunny as well with high temperatures in the low to mid-70s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at just 38 degrees. This here's a football story, but it's not a football story. It's an MPS incompetence story. It's a kids paying for the mistakes of adults story. Two Milwaukee City Conference football teams learned this week that they have to forfeit all the games they've already played for the season, and they are banned from 2 postseasons. A penalty from the WIAA, Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association, which is the governing body for all the high school sports that we have here in Wisconsin that are associated with schools. So if you're doing club sports, that's a different deal. But if your son or daughter is in sports at high school, it's governed by the WIAA. The programs are Bayview and Pulaski. What's Pulaski? Bayview's Red Cats, right?
Oh, boy, you're asking me mascots?
Yeah.
Yeesh.
I'll look that one up. It's not the school's fault. It's not the coach's fault. And it certainly is not the kids' fault. Information I'm reporting here is from the city of Milwaukee, several common council members signing on to a statement of disgust at how this is all turning out for these young athletes and their families, as well as the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. JS reports that the WIAA informed the schools Monday of this punishment. Here's the problem. Milwaukee City Conference for football has 2 divisions. For this season, the conference wanted to realign. They wanted to swap Bayview and Pulaski, so they changed divisions for the season within that city conference. Okay, so the divisions have names, but for simplicity's sake, you were in the north, you're now in the south.
Okay.
And vice versa.
Yep.
You were in the south, now you're playing in the north, right? Simple swap. Reportedly, no one ever informed the WIAA, which needs to approve that change, putting these schools in violation of the rules. JS quoting the athletic director at Bayview, Jay Wojcinski, as saying it's a simple form that needs to be filled out, and it wasn't. Either that or it wasn't sent in. According to him and others, by Bobby Kelsey, MPS Commissioner of Interscholastic Athletics and Academics. So she simply never filled it out or never sent it in, didn't get approval from the WIAA for the switch, so none of these games count. Season is a loss. Next season, no matter what happens on the field, kids can't make the playoffs. 4 members of the Milwaukee Common Council piling on. This is unconscionable as the hopes and dreams of players on these teams and the coaching staffs have been crushed because the top athletics official for the Milwaukee City Conference, Bobby Kelsey, dropped the ball. They went on to suggest this goes beyond football. We have also been told about coaches and administrators who have stopped their involvement in MPS athletics because of the dysfunction in how Ms. Kelsey handles her duties. They went on to say that this is unacceptable. Unacceptable indeed. And yet we continue to accept incompetence that appears at every level in our state's largest school system. And once again, it's the kids paying the price. 6:45 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
When it comes to accurate, reliable election information for Wisconsin voters, visit the official site. It's myvote.wi.gov. It's the big cheese, you could say. It's your one-stop source for official Wisconsin election information. Find your polling place, see your sample ballot, make sure your registration is up to date, and more at myvote.wi.gov. Sponsored by Wisconsin Elections Commission, aired by Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for Tri-County Contracting. You've heard us talk about the worry-free roof tune-up. Wanted to read this to you, a testimonial from Nancy. I received a roof tune-up, and it worked out great from Tri-County Contracting. Highly recommend. Very professional, explained everything very clearly, took pictures of all the repairs before and after the work, And best of all, they were very honest and said my current roof was in good condition and should be good for at least 5 more years. That's from Nancy on Tri-County Contracting. Don't forget their worry-free roof tune-up. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Asked Monday if there's a point where Packers in the kicking situation would become a problem in his eyes. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll take it day by day.
Day by day, day by day.
Well, a new day appears to be here. ESPN's Adam Schefter, first to report Packers intend to sign veteran kicker Brandon McManus.
And let us never speak of the kicking again.
Nervousin'?
Or play this song.
So 9 seasons with the Broncos, 1 with the Jaguars. The Jags did not re-sign him after he was accused of a sexual assault on a team flight last season. And the NFL did investigate. It did not take disciplinary action. McManus denies the report, and so therefore he is free to play following that investigation. Packers expected to announce the release of rookie Braden Narvison and the signing of Braden McManus today.
You know what I want to do now? I want to go to work after hearing that song.
Right. Really get you going.
Hey, wear white if you're going to the Packers game against the Texans on Sunday. Whiteout conditions at Lambeau Field, the first ever winter warning game. So the Packers are going to be in all white helmets, white shirt, white pants, and they want fans all white as well. So if you're going, make it look like a winter warning game.
Milwaukee Admirals are 1-1 on their young season, looking ahead to Saturday night at UWM Panther Arena. It'll be the home opener for the Ads, who, if you recall, were a heartbeat away from the Calder Cup Finals last season. So they are an affiliate for the Nashville Predators, NHL team. So given that, you don't always know who's going to be back, right? Coming into a new season. President of the Admirals, John Greenberg, he stopped by with some good news. Fan favorite Zach LaRue, he's back.
Is capable of scoring a ton of goals. He's also capable of creating mayhem when he's on the ice. He actually led our team, I believe he led the league in penalty minutes last year. So he's a lot of fun to watch, number 68.
All right. Good.
Led the league in penalty minutes.
Love it.
Sure, old-time hockey. Like Eddie Shore. Yeah.
Yeah. 2 new goalies for the Ads this year as well. Saturday night is Rally Towel and Magnetic Schedule Night. I got this.
It's a quality
Rally towel right here. Everybody gets one. Rockford Ice Hogs in town. Puck drops at 6 p.m.
Baseball news. Tropicana Field, the home of the Tampa Bay Rays, will not be ready for opening day next year. Of course, you saw the video.
Yeah, it has no roof.
Right. Milton tore the roof off of it. So what are you going to do? I don't know. Maybe they play in Sacramento like the A's do. Well, they've got to figure out something because it will not be ready.
Maybe they play in Oakland.
Yeah. That's an interesting thought. Yankees win again. They lead the Guardians 2-0 in the ALCS, 2-0. And I thought you'd appreciate this, Vince. Apparently the Bronx Bombers aren't the best at running the bases. Anthony Rizzo caught in a pickle. John Sterling's call is amazing.
And Rizzo is going to be picked off. He's in the middle between second and third. Back to second, back to third, tagged out, end of inning. Boy, if that wasn't the Yankees, that's what they do. Run the bases like drunks.
And there you have it. Best description ever. I guess we now know.
Run the bases like drunks. 10-7 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
That's what they do. Run the bases like drunks.
When you walk into your bathroom, is it turn this into this? With our Sidex Creepiest Tub or Shower Contest. Enter a picture of your creepy tub or shower space at WTMJ.com for a chance to win a brand new complete tub or shower conversion installed at no cost, up to a $10,000 value. Enter your picture by texting CREEPY to the WTMJ talk and text line. It's the Creepiest Shower Contest, only here on WTMJ.
Happy fall to all, and let me make it a little bit more fun. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattress. We're redoing some of the living room, and my wife has informed me that includes new furniture. Don't know exactly what she's got her eye on, but I do know we are going to Built Right by our house there on the south side. Built Right's 96th anniversary celebration and $1 million clearance sell-off is on now. It's all about your comfort, your style, your home at Built Right. Third and fourth generation family members, they're on hand. They work in the store daily, along with their amazing team. Together, more than 400 years of experience in the business. Be ready for your guests with thousands of items in stock, plus 500 mattresses, and custom orders are faster in 2024. Built Right has affordable, better quality furniture and mattresses. USA made, small scale, Amish made. If you're looking for real solid wood, they've got it. More than 55 models of power lift recliners in stock. Free in-store design services as well. Built Right always saves you money. Voted best place to shop. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, closed to be with family. Tell them Vinny sent you to Built Right, 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Dan Kraus, retired Army veteran and Wisconsin estate planning law specialist, talks about what can happen if you don't have an estate plan.
Your assets may not go to your intended heirs. Family disputes and legal battles can arise after you pass. Loved ones could face financial hardship. The court may decide on guardianship for your children. You may leave behind nothing because of nursing expenses. Don't let these things happen to your family.
Contact Kraus Estate Planning and Elder Law Center at estateplanningpeople.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Morning drive looking okay, Deb?
Well, we got an issue off of the freeway, Highway 100 northbound, right about at Cleveland Avenue. We got the 2 left lanes blocked with a crash, so be careful with that. But on the freeway, we just have our usual delays. Westbound 94 from about 27th Street through to Mitchell Boulevard. The eastbound side's got a couple of pockets of heavy traffic right past 68th Street and then again through the Stadium interchange. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
It's cold. Freeze warning until 9 a.m. today. Thank you. Yep. Sunny, a high of just 56. By the way, since it's so cold, we should mention that we're sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Tonight, frost inland, a low of 32 inland. Thursday, sunny and nice, 64. Friday, 68. Saturday, sunny, 71. Sunday, sunny and a high of 73. 6:53, it's 37 degrees.
Monday, Wisconsin Department of Transportation will begin closing to everyone Southside park and ride lots that have growing encampments of homeless people, tents, RVs, campers, some sleeping in cars, basically living there. The data, 3 to 4 calls a day to authorities for reports of violence, weapons, drug overdoses, theft to these lots intended for folks who want to carpool or catch the bus. Bring in Dr. Ken Harris, former Milwaukee Police Lieutenant and host of the afternoon show on 101.7 The Truth. I want to get into long and short term here, Dr. Ken, but first, what about these folks who say we got nowhere else to go?
See ya. I mean, at some point, we've wasted, and I'm going to tie it in politically just because it's convenient. I don't really care. But we've spent how much money on immigrants that came here illegally in hotels and food and education and all that. Education thing, I get, they're kids. But we can't find money to help a group of homeless people. Watch this. And we know where to find them. They're literally sitting in I don't understand. Let's find some money. Let's help people. If we're going to build, I would go to all of the builders, construction people, and I would make them say, hey, you want to build that great building downtown? Yeah, you want those tax breaks? Yeah, I need another building over here.
Here's what you're going to do for us.
Here's what you're going to do for the city, and you're going to build it right there. Otherwise, you're not going to get it. Hey, Northwestern Mutual, love you. Been a great city for over 100 years, but if you want that tax break over the next 10 years of $75 million or $7 million or $7, guess what? I need a new building over here. But we won't do that, and I don't understand why. We could fix this tomorrow. And it took 3 years.
Feels like about that much,
to tell some people that, hey, by the way, you're trespassing. Let me go down there and trespass. I would have been in cuffs in the sheriff's office like 5 minutes later.
How's that going to go on Monday, do you foresee? Sheriff's officials is going to have to walk in there and, all right, come on, guys. Come on.
Yep.
There'll be cameras there.
Right.
The optics won't be the best.
Right. And it won't be thought through, and then they'll go into the neighborhoods. Then it'll change.
Well, you better have a plan. Like I don't want to foresee doom and gloom, but again, if there's someone there who's got a tent, and I'm standing here at my tent, and you say you have to leave, and I say I'm not going, then what are you prepared to do? Are you prepared to bring people in who are going to break down that tent?
Yes, they're going to be notified in X amount of days you need to move. If at X amount of time you have not moved your belongings, we will dispose of them. And they'll tell them, they'll walk through there. The social workers will walk through there. The homeless advocates will walk through there. They will know in advance. Now, what day are they moving them?
Monday.
And they told them when?
Last week or this week, right?
So you have
time.
a week to figure it out.
But they've been told before. That's the other thing.
Except this time.
We've seen this drill before.
Except this time, they're going to follow through. And so part of that is that you've been told multiple times over an entire year, you've had enough time, got to go.
You ever seen anything like this happen before in the history of the parking rides? We were trying to recall if this has ever been a thing.
Well, they kind of moved from places because they were dangerous underneath the
under the overpasses, right?
But we're talking places on the south side that literally in some of the wooded areas, we found whole like small towns,
communities, yeah,
and we're talking like dozens of people living and functioning and cooking, and one errant, poof, and all of a sudden the whole place is on fire. I mean, It's really dangerous, but they're doing what they have to do.
Long-term play, what happens here? Is this just let's clear the whole thing out, let's let it sit for a bit, and then we'll reopen these park and rides once folks are gone and relocated?
But when they have to clean it.
Right.
They have to clean it. They have to do it. It's like anything. It's like a Packer game, right? When you're done, you got to clean it. You got to disinfect the seats. You got to do all that. But then what they really need to do is get the state and the county and the city moving on what we're going to do to help these people.
Dr. Ken Harris, host of the afternoon show on 101.7 The Truth. Good to see you.
Same here.
6:58 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
A strike at the Miller Brewery ended Monday after the group of 43 workers ratified a new contract. The work stoppage involved mechanics and machine repair workers, but the brewery said it did not impact product availability. Plans for Wisconsin's first Buc-ee's location in DeForest are stalled until at least the end of the year. The delay is due to efforts by the Texas-based gas station chain to get the state to pick up about $7 million in infrastructure improvements. Plymouth-based company Carbliss, which makes vodka, tequila, and rum-based canned cocktails with 0 carbs and sugar, has entered the Chicago market. This comes after striking a deal with beer distributor Chicago Beverage Systems. I'm Drew Dawson with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
Okay, close your mouth and take a deep breath in through your nose. So the way it's supposed to be is that you should be able to breathe easily. You shouldn't feel constrained. What it should feel like is air briskly flowing freely through both nasal passages, day and night. And if not, there's a problem. And it's a don't know what your problem really was until you got it fixed kind of problem. You're living with it. I mean, you're tired a lot. It might give you headaches and sinus pressure, but you're living with it. Yeah, you sound like almost every patient we help until we get their problem fixed. And then you hear them saying, why would I put up with that? Advent will get you breathing freely again with simple in-office solutions like turbinate reduction along with balloon sinuplasty that really can change your life.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
Hi, I'm Jim Token, president of Adam. Do you ever miss the good old days?
When you didn't need a password to do everything but tie your shoes?
No, I'm talking about car shopping, when dealer lots were filled with new inventory and there were big incentives and discounts. Well, those days are back at Adam member dealers all over Metro Milwaukee, making it a great time to go car or truck shopping again.
I suppose I need a password.
No, just find your nearest Adam member dealer or start your new car search at adam.com.
Hey, John Mercure here for Guthrie & Fry Water Conditioning. I've got their water softener. I've got an RO system from Guthrie & Fry. That means the water coming into my house is filtered. It's crisp, clean, clear. Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie & Fry. Quality products and services at a fair price from a local company you can trust. Guthrie & Fry protects the water in my house. They deliver the salt. Sue and Rob, owners, very generous. And on top of it, they'll treat your family like their family. Southeast Wisconsin's #1 choice is Guthrie & Fry.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie & Fry.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
7:01, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Wednesday, October 16th, our top story, searching for a missing teen.
I'm Erik Bilstad. Trouble for MPS football.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Still seeing some delays because of an accident on Highway 100 northbound, right about at Cleveland Avenue. 2 left lanes are blocked with this, so watch out for that. Otherwise, the freeway system's looking okay. Westbound is a little bit tight from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound slowing down just east of 84th Street, all the way to about Hawley Road. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Morning freeze is on, then a sunny but chilly high of 56 degrees. Clear and chilly overnight with frost inland. 37 at the lake, 32 your low temperature away from Lake Michigan. Milwaukee right now at 37 degrees. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee Police just issuing this, a search for a critically missing 15-year-old girl. MPD says Jenna Fossil was last seen around midnight, 96th and Silver Spring on the north side. Last seen wearing a gray jacket, black jogging pants. News release calling her 5 foot 2 inches tall, weighing about 190 pounds, black hair worn in a ponytail.
More financial trouble could be on the way for the state's largest school district. The State Department of Public Instruction giving Milwaukee Public Schools $587 million in general aid this year. It's millions less than what the district was expecting.
It's received almost $50 million more in funding. Department of Public Instruction Interim Communications Director Chris Bucher says that's based on all districts' prior year student counts, financial data, and property values. An amended budget will be brought forward to the Board of School Directors on October 29th. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
In trouble for a pair of MPS schools on the football field. WIAA ruling that both Bayview and Pulaski High School must forfeit all of their games from this season after district administrators failed to submit the proper paperwork for a change within conference play. 4 members of the Milwaukee Common Council issued a statement criticizing the office's commissioner, Bobby Kelsey. In addition to forfeiting games, both schools have been banned from the playoffs for the next 2 seasons. MPS says it plans on appealing the WIAA ruling.
Decision Wisconsin, a new Marquette University Law School poll, a national survey across the country, is out now this morning. This new survey from Marquette finds that Vice President Kamala Harris leads former President Donald Trump 48-47 among likely voters. Now, 4% said they would vote for somebody else. When asked if they had to vote for either Harris or Trump, the poll was split down evenly 50-50.
And new information about the vice president's upcoming visit to the state. Vice President Harris due to arrive at Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport this evening. So she'll spend the night, scheduled to campaign in Milwaukee Thursday. Still no word on the exact time or location for that event. The vice president then plans to travel to La Crosse Thursday for an afternoon rally and then to Green Bay for a rally at night.
The U.S. Supreme Court is ordering an appeals court to review its ruling that a law barring 18 to 20-year-olds from carrying firearms in public during a state of emergency is unconstitutional. CBS News reporter Christopher Cruz.
The appeals court ruled the Pennsylvania law violates the Second Amendment, which it said applies to all Americans regardless of age. But in June, the High Court ruled that some gun restrictions are legal and has told the lower court to apply that new standard to the Pennsylvania law.
Coming up, why is there a DJ at my polling place? Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:05.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage. I get that most home shoppers just go with their bank when it comes to getting pre-approved. But that's probably a mistake, because banks have a lot of overhead, like branches, fancy headquarters, and layers of management. That means their closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 higher than AccuNet's for exactly the same rate. And that's not all. Bank pre-approval letters are usually weak and unconvincing, especially compared to AccuNet's rock-solid, fully verified pre-approval that provides a $2,000 guarantee to you and the seller. Our senior loan consultants will also look at every possible way to strengthen your offer and pre-approval in the eyes of that seller, especially if you're offering over the asking price. We even call the listing agent to reinforce what a great buyer you are. Banks don't do all that. Click on the blue button today at AccuNet.com and let our passionate mortgage pros help you win while you save a bunch of money, too. That's ACCUNET.com.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, memory care issues. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. I've been in their places. I love how they deal with people. It's about compassion and empathy at Azura. Kindness is at their core. 14 locations from the Mississippi to Lake Michigan, 4 here in the Milwaukee area. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's about kindness and care. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
Your basement. Ooh, wall cracks. Oh no. seepage, and stains on the bottom of those walls. Terrifying. The only thing scarier than basement issues are businesses that prey on your fear over those terrifying foundational cracks. The team at Gatish Foundation never uses high-pressure sales tactics. Over 90% of Gatish Foundation's jobs are through referrals. So, for an honest opinion on the condition of your basement, call Gatish Foundation today. Spelled G-A-I-Dish. Gatish.com.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
Packers appear ready to sign a new kicker. We'll introduce him in sports at 7:15.
The Milwaukee Common Council approving more than $1.5 million in American Rescue Plan Act funds for crisis prevention. The money going to be helping programs related to eviction prevention, home buyer down payment assistance, pregnant mothers in need, and etc. Organizations receiving the funding include Eviction Free Milwaukee, Zilber Family Foundation, and the Bridge Project.
Milwaukee County Parks removed a plaque on Milwaukee's last ancient indigenous burial mound.
The plaque was placed at Lake Park in 1910 at the request of the Wisconsin Archaeological Society to indicate a 2,000-year-old burial site. But the plaque was situated at the highest point of the mound, which inadvertently encouraged visitors to walk on the site in order to read the marker. This disturbs the sacredness of the mound and defaces its surface. After holding discussion with professionals, Milwaukee County Parks initiated a respectful process to remove the marker, and they plan to restore the turf disturbed during excavation. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Turn on the music, turn out the vote. That's the idea behind DJs at the Polls.
So DJs at the Polls started in 2008 by a gentleman named Anton Moore, and he wanted to find a way to get people to come out to the polls.
Local DJ Erik Meyer says the answer was music. This year, the group is hiring 4,500 DJs in more than 10 states. They'll be playing the hits at polling places on Election Day.
These are in major metropolitan areas. I mean, they're densely populated urban zones, and obviously Wisconsin's a very important state for politics. If you're within an hour of Milwaukee, most polling places are probably going to have a DJ that day.
Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:09.
Hi, it's Rose Gray from Fox World Travel, inviting you on an unforgettable 2025 bucket list adventure. We're guiding groups of local travelers to some of the world's top exotic destinations, including Australia and New Zealand, the Galapagos Islands, Costa Rica, Peru, Morocco, Turkey, Egypt, and Kenya. Our award-winning experts crafted group tours with Insight Vacations, Globus, and African Travel for your peace of mind. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. Let's explore the world together.
Vince Vitrano here. Fall is upon us. WTMJ's Home Improvement Showcase featuring J&J Contractors this week for all your home renovation needs. Turn the inside or outside of your house into a dream home with J&J Contractors. Full interior remodels include kitchens, bathrooms, but they do a lot more than just your shower or tub. J&J Contractors can modernize your entire bathroom. It's a family-owned company. Award-winning service also includes roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Learn more by checking out our Home Improvement Showcase page at WTMJ.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. Traffic brought to you by Annex Wealth Management. Financial and retirement planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth. Annex Private Client. Annex Ignite. Ready for you at AnnexWealth.com.
At 7:10, how's the morning drive, Debbie?
Well, we still have this issue on northbound Highway 100 at Cleveland. 2 left lanes are blocked with a crash, so if you can avoid that area, that'd be good. Eastbound 94, slowing down from 92nd Street all the way to Hawley Road. Westbound, just slow from about 35th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Rest of the system looking pretty good. We do have one broken down vehicle northbound 43 at about Kilbourne, but that is off on the right shoulder. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Freezing temperatures this morning with a freeze warning until 9 a.m. After that, sunshine will help warm us up into the mid-50s this afternoon. As we look towards tonight, temperatures will drop back down under clear skies into the 30s, near freezing inland, mid to upper 30s closer towards the lake. Thursday, the sunshine helps us once again. High temperatures in the mid-60s. We get warmer on Friday. All-day sunshine with high temperatures in the upper 60s. The weekend looks beautiful. A great time to get outside. High temperatures in the lower 70s on Saturday with mostly sunny skies. Sunday mostly sunny as well with high temperatures in the low to mid 70s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee right now at 37 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Erik, Bilstad, and Vince Vitrano.
We've heard tough talk on the matter. One sheriff in Florida said he's going to perp walk any student who is accused of making a bomb threat or some type of threat, even if it's a joke. We've heard others say throw the book, felony charges, et cetera, et cetera. So what do you do in this case? Update out of a story from Slinger, Wisconsin. So the high school in Slinger was dismissed early on Monday, as was the elementary school because it's right next door there. There was a bomb threat posted on social media for the high school.
Okay.
So at the time on Monday, Slinger School District told parents right away, hey, this is likely a swatting situation. This is likely a prank. That's what we think it is. However, out of an abundance of caution, we're going to send everybody home midday. We will inspect the building. We'll do a sweep and all that and get to the bottom of it. So that's what they did. So they did that. The building, as expected, was clear and safe after that bomb sweep on Monday. Now that everyone's back at school. Well, now we're learning who's responsible. Could it be someone from another state? Could it be someone from overseas, as has been the case before? No, it was none of that. It was an actual 14-year-old from the Milwaukee area. Police and the Slinger School District say, yeah, he made the threat on Snapchat. In a letter to parents, the superintendent says the boy told police, yeah, I did it. I was bored. And he randomly selected Slinger, posted on Snapchat to some Slinger High School kids, and the rest is history.
You see what happens?
So what happens now? Do you throw the book at this kid? Does he get the perp walk, so to speak, like that sheriff in Florida says every kid should get? Should be called out, embarrassed, expelled from whatever school he goes to. What should happen to the kid?
It's a hard question because kids do dumb kid stuff. And when we were kids, I was bored means you TP'd somebody, right?
Right. Or maybe pulled the fire alarm.
Right. But in this case, right, calling in bomb threats, disrupting an entire school day for virtually the entire district there.
Right, pretty much.
In Slinger. And then the copycatting that happens after that. And just no affiliation to the school. That's just so
randomly
odd,
selected
but
Slinger.
Increasing in frequency.
Right, correct. So what should happen to the kid? Not suggesting I know the answer, but this is what every situation is different. Every case is different. How is this one different than what happened in West Dallas not that long ago? I mean, they're not the same, but you have to wonder, okay, what happens to the kid now?
7:14, we've got sports coming up next, including news of a new kicker in Green Bay. That story just ahead.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. Several locations, several choices. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Here's Packers head coach Matt LaFleur just days ago.
Considering a move this week at kicker?
I wouldn't say that right now, no.
Well, would you say that right now? I'm not saying he knew. Maybe he didn't know.
Had to have known.
Had to have known,
At least that they were looking, right?
Packers reported by ESPN's Adam Schefter and a host of other sources now worked out and are intending to sign former Jacksonville Jaguar, former Denver Bronco, Brandon McManus, career 81% field goal kicker over 10 seasons. The Jags let him go after he was accused of sexual assault on a team flight, an incident which he denies. The league late last month cleared him to play after completing its investigation. The official announcement of the release of rookie Braden Narveson is expected, as is the signing of Brandon McManus today. Yes.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
Sorry.
All right. Moving on.
I'm fine.
Whiteout conditions at Lambeau Field on Sunday. No, it's actually going to be gorgeous out. But it's the team's first ever winter warning game. That means they are going to wear their white helmets. We heard about this, right? That they're going to do
There was a big to do. Players were sounding off. They were excited about it.
By the way,
it's just the clothes.
Is not unprecedented, by the way. The Packers have worn white helmets before, believe it or not. Anyway, so they're going to be in all white, so they want the fans to be in all white. So to help create the blizzard-like effect in the stadium, in honor of winter warning game, fans are invited to wear white attire for the game. Kind of like how at Badger games sometimes they do like the red-white striping.
Sure.
Hey, if you're in this section,
I'm
wear
okay
red.
with it. That's fine.
And this one, they want everybody in white.
It'll look cool, right?
Sure.
And people are excited about it. I didn't mean to splash water on it. I'm not that interested in what my guys are wearing. I'm really more interested in their record and the touchdowns and the interceptions and whatever.
I don't disagree with you. However, it's just kind of, I am proud, and I think this is more of an NFL thing than it is a Packers thing. I am proud of them for giving it a shot. Let's try something different. You don't always have to have the same
about
look.
tradition?
No.
This is not tradition.
Try something different.
Yes.
You know who really likes the unis? My kids.
Yeah.
They have to grow the young fan as well.
And the young player. The players are excited about it. So if these guys are jacked up because they're wearing a white helmet, fine.
And you can sell a whole lot of new merch.
There is that. Milwaukee Admirals have their home opener on Saturday night at the arena. Ads hockey is back. Always exciting. These all-fan giveaways. This time it will include an Admirals rally towel that team president John Greenberg is super excited about.
They're actually really nice. I mean, compared to some of the rally towels that we've received over the past from other teams, this is a high-quality product.
High-quality towel.
You're not
right
just going to
here.
go and start washing your car with
You
this
take that to the beach.
That's right.
Greenberg really propping the towel.
It is kind of nice.
It is a nice towel. I'm holding it right now if you're watching along with us on YouTube this morning. You've held here.
Yes.
Hold the towel.
Thank you. Yes.
Really enjoy it. Be careful with it.
Very nice.
Fans leaving will also get an Admirals magnetic schedule for the 2024 season on Saturday. Oh, by the way, we have hockey for you.
Then we're going to play some hockey against what I think is going to be a pretty good Rockford team. So Blackhawks affiliate, and I expect that's going to be a good rivalry this year.
So you got the Rockford Ice Hogs for the home opener for the Milwaukee Admirals. Saturday night, puck drops at 6 p.m.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here. Yes, fall is here. The leaves are turning, and you can't ignore them. Yes, there are tons of them, but you can't pretend they're going to go away. A beautiful summer landscape starts in the fall. So the fall cleanup is key. And I've been talking to the folks at David J. Frank Landscape, and they'll tell you that there is such a thing as too many leaves. They clutter the suffocation of your lawn. They prevent new growth in the spring. Too many leaves can also lead to mold and fungi and other problems. You do need to clear all that up.
So do you. But you over there care about your lawn. Get that taken care of.
But I don't have to do it.
Yes.
David J. Frank Landscape can do it for you. Get a free quote right now. DavidJFrank.com is the website. The website again, DavidJFrank.com.
It's spooky season, and we've conjured up monster deals at Heiser. Don't let your money-eating nightmare ride haunt you any longer. At Heiser, it's all treats and no tricks. Trade in and upgrade to a new truck, perfect for hauling spooky decorations, taking those holiday road trips, or carting home all that candy. Whether it's new or used, our wickedly good deals on Chevy, Toyota, and Ford trucks will give you the chills. Stop in or shop online. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
When you walk into your bathroom, is it turn this into this? With our SiteX Creepiest Tub or Shower Contest. Enter a picture of your creepy tub or shower space at WTMJ.com for a chance to win a brand new complete tub or shower conversion installed at no cost, up to a $10,000 value. Enter your picture by texting creepy to the WTMJ talk and text line. It's the Creepiest Shower Contest, only here on WTMJ.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. What's happening, Deb?
Well, that earlier problem on Highway 100 northbound at Cleveland has been cleared out of the way, so we're good there. Eastbound on 94, backing up from 92nd Street all the way to Holly Road. Westbound 94 is tightening up right through the Stadium interchange as well. Starting to see a little bit of bunching on southbound 43, heading towards the Capitol Drive area from just south of Hampton. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for this Wednesday.
The Iceman cometh.
I don't know if it's all that, but it is cold. We've got a freeze warning this morning and a sunny high of 56 degrees. It will be cool once again overnight. Expecting some frost inland as temperatures will dip down right around the freezing mark. Be a little bit warmer at your Lake Michigan overnight. Thursday, sunny and nice, high 64. High of 68 on Friday with sunshine. And for the weekend, mostly sunny on Saturday, high 71. Sunday, even better, mostly sunny skies with a high of 73. Milwaukee right now at 37.
We have an update.
And it's still not done.
Unfortunately... Well, no. Okay, let's explain it. So, yes, we've been talking about the Milwaukee flag, the people's flag, the blue and yellow flag that was adopted like 8 years ago by a group of do-gooders in a contest. Lots of people just started waving it. Even some city officials have celebrated this flag, but it's never been the official flag. Well, now there's been a push to do that. The Common Council isn't sure what to do, so we have to get to City Hall, Vince.
Bureaucracy, legislation, red tape.
I'm so bored.
Doesn't anything fun happen here?
When you work for the local government, doing the bare minimum is doing your part.
It's time to take another visit to City Hall.
So Common Council held their meeting on Tuesday. A month after kicking the can on the flag, they kept it in council. That meant they had to bring it up as unfinished business on Tuesday. So you and I both kind of speculated, wonder if they're going to find a way to delay this again. And when Alderman Bergella started speaking, you thought that's right where he was going.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This has been a long 3 weeks of many discussions with colleagues and other stakeholders in the community.
But you thought maybe he was going to say, yeah, so maybe we should move on to other things. However, he did not. In fact, he suggested maybe there should be a referendum.
I think the best path forward would be to put this question to voters and let voters decide.
Yes, put the people's flag to the people.
Let the people vote on the people's flag. Why don't you just tell me if you want the flag?
Actually, I thought I was impressed that Bergella said that he and Alderman Chambers, who you may recall is a big critic of this flag, and criticized it in the last hearing or last meeting with the council, they agreed together that the best way forward, let's just put this on the ballot. April election next year. Should this be the new city flag? Now, you may ask why not just vote on it, the council itself, right?
Yes.
Because they had the votes. They could have just passed it.
You're elected to lead. You're elected to make these decisions. Go ahead, lead.
Yeah, if they pass it, great. If they don't, oh well, whatever. But you could have passed it 8-7. However, Bergella said Mayor Johnson had threatened to veto the flag.
Alrighty.
So they said, well, look, let's not even vote then because we need at least 10 votes. We don't have it at the moment. So maybe we do this referendum. How about we just do that? Well, Alderman Bob Bauman was like, wait, hold on. You're going to change the charter for a referendum. Why would we do this? Would we do this for anything else?
I get why we want to put it to the people. Fine. I get all that. Understand, referendums are a very dangerous precedent that we'd be setting here. Every controversial issue can be sent to a referendum as a non-advisory triggering referendum, whatever the issue may be.
Yeah, so you're just going to throw the referendum up for everything else. Alderman Brostoff asked the same thing.
If that's the case, why do we make decisions on much more important things? We should be seeking this action for all sorts of stuff if that's the case, and I don't want to set that precedent.
Right. So, and plus they didn't even know if this was legal to be able to do all of this. So they decided in the end, I can't even say it. In the end, they weren't sure what to do. So they decided to hold the matter in council.
Let's talk about it another day.
It remains unfinished business. Yes, nothing decided.
Any objections to holding it in council? Okay, hearing none, so ordered.
Yes, so now it gets pushed again. And who knows? I mean, actually, what they should have done is all just voted for it unanimously and forced the mayor to decide. Put it on his shoulders to veto it.
You could do that. What I find interesting is one of the potential remedies that was discussed at length of going to a referendum you kind of hinted at it, might not even be legal.
Right, yeah.
City attorney already told him, I don't think you can do that, actually. There are certain parameters in which you can put an advisory referendum or a binding referendum on the ballot. And they're saying, actually, what you propose here, we might not even be able to do.
Yeah.
And probably before you propose that, probably should get told that.
Right? Well, now we'll know. It's unfinished business again for another month at least.
What should we do? You and me. Should we keep doing the story? I don't know.
I feel like as long as they keep bringing it up.
Okay, well, tune in for this exact same story 1 month from now.
No,
right?
no.
Or is it on us? Should we just quit talking about it?
Well, it's not a real thing. It doesn't affect the city at all. It really doesn't.
That's why we talk about it.
They even brought up fiscal no. Well, what about the fiscal? Stop it. Stop your bureaucratic nonsense. Just vote no on the thing if you don't like it.
News about your money. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average was down about 325 points to 42,740. The Nasdaq closed at 18,316 on Tuesday, down about 190 points, and the S&P 500 off about 45 to 58.15. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Any objections to holding it in council? Okay, hearing none, so ordered.
I'm very familiar with Gruber Law offices because they're always out in the community.
Gruber Law offices are known to be honest, hardworking.
They're always involved in our neighborhoods.
Gruber Law offices make our community a better place.
They are the best. For nearly 40 years, Gruber Law offices has helped people throughout Wisconsin. If you're injured, we're here to help. One call, that's all.
Wisconsin would not be the same without Gruber Law offices.
Any exterior remodeling company can give you a lot of good reasons to get a new roof, siding, windows and doors, or masonry work. Aesthetic appeal alone or just resale value help it all make sense. But I'm compelled to continue to tell you what sets Semper Fi apart from the rest. What you're going to get from Semper Fi is a reputation that is backed by an undeniable stack of proof that we are who we say we are. Our character is guided by a level of trust and accountability which not only holds our teams together, but also keeps our reputation intact. And ultimately, that means leaving you satisfied. So when you're about to make that big investment in your home, isn't that what you want? This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
It's chili season. Sendix is featuring Black Angus ground chuck for just $3.99 per pound. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
Eastbound 94, we're seeing delays from 164 all the way through the Barker Road area to about Calhoun. Back on the brakes from 92nd Street all the way through the stadium. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Morning freeze and a sunny high of 56 in Milwaukee today.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. Early voting began Tuesday in Georgia, and plenty of folks couldn't wait to get to the polls.
More than 328,000. That is how many people election officials say turned out to vote early in person on the first day of early voting here in Georgia. Those numbers shattering records. At this polling location, they just keep coming. The line starting here about an hour before this location even opened.
ABC's Rachel Scott outside a polling place in Atlanta. Staying in Georgia, a judge has blocked a new rule that would require ballots to be hand-counted after polls close on Election Day. Vice President Kamala Harris today to make a case for putting the country ahead of party, standing at the site where Washington crossed the Delaware during the Revolutionary War. Former President Trump saying his tariff plan would not raise prices for American consumers, telling the Economic Club of Chicago Tuesday that he's right, and economists, as well as the Wall Street Journal, are wrong about that. This is ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center this morning, the trial for a man from Greenfield accused of killing his infant daughter decades ago is now underway. 55-year-old Roger Schrader, who used to perform as Silly the Clown, was the last person known to be with his daughter before someone called 911. First responders say the 7-week-old was found unresponsive inside the family's apartment in Greenfield back in 1991. Milwaukee County medical examiner at the time found Catherine Schrader had died from blunt force trauma. Roger Schrader was charged with homicide shortly after.
Among those taking the stand were retired first responders, including former Greenfield Fire Chief Gary Bauer, who responded to the 911 call.
The blood pressure, we could not obtain a blood pressure, could not obtain a pulse, and the person was not breathing.
The murder trial expected to continue into next week.
A man in Texas set to be executed today. A court denied his appeal for clemency in the death of his 2-year-old daughter, Robert Robertson, who was convicted of murder by shaken baby syndrome, diagnosis that's now widely discredited.
At least 86 Texas lawmakers from both political parties have spoken out in support of Robertson's clemency request, and the lead detective on the case is also pushing for Robertson's release.
I will be forever haunted by my participation in his prosecution, his arrest and prosecution. He is an innocent man.
The Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles could recommend clemency for Robertson today, but it would be up to the governor, Greg Abbott, to decide.
ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
Strike among brewery workers coming to an end. Machinists back to work at Molson Coors Beverage after reaching an agreement. Molson Coors said the 43 union members agreed to a new deal last week.
Thousands of Boeing employees continue their strike into a second straight month as they push for a 40% wage increase over the next 4 years. About 33,000 of the Boeing West Coast machinists have been on strike since September 13th. Strike comes as Boeing signaled it could raise up to $25 billion by issuing new stock or debt over the next 3 years.
One of the local art scene's biggest events makes its return this weekend. Gallery Night MKE takes over.
Nearly 80 venues are participating. One strategy to maximize your time is to choose a neighborhood.
Generally, if you choose one specific area, there will be some density there, so you can make sure that you're hitting a variety of different galleries and pop-up venues.
Jordan Deschambre is the Historic Third Ward Association Marketing and Communications Director. She tells WTMJ that Gallery Night is not only for those looking to purchase expensive art.
There are also people who have never actually had an appreciation for art or want to learn more about it, who are out there and discovering.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:34.
Traffic sponsored by the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services, WI.com.
Upgrade to a beautiful Kohler Luxstone shower in as little as a day or two with the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com today.
Coming up, a cat you would never find shows up on your back door.
News is sponsored by Griffin Ford, Griffin Chevy on Metro Auto Mall, and Griffin's Hub Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram.
A buck in today's world doesn't go far unless you're spending it at Griffin. Because for just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. Buy one or a whole set. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand. We'll put you in new tires for just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. That's right, $1 over cost, and we'll even show you the invoice to prove it. So what's the catch? There's really no catch. You don't have to buy a car or a truck from us. We'd like it if you did, but our only requirement is we put them on for you. Buy one, two, or a set of four. The $1 deal at Griffin. Available at Griffin Chrysler Jeep South, 27th Street and Jefferson. Griffin Chevrolet in the Auto Mall. Griffin Ford, Waukesha, and Fort Atkinson. 5 ways to make your dollar go further. Griffin, the buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. $1 over cost. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers. AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage. I get that most home shoppers just go with their bank when it comes to getting pre-approved. But that's probably a mistake because banks have a lot of overhead, like branches, fancy headquarters, and layers of management. That means their closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 higher than AccuNet's for exactly the same rate. And that's not all. Bank pre-approval letters are usually weak and unconvincing, especially compared to AccuNet's rock-solid, fully verified pre-approval that provides a $2,000 guarantee to you and the seller. Our senior loan consultants will also look at every possible way to strengthen your offer and pre-approval in the eyes of that seller, especially if you're offering over the asking price. We even call the listing agent to reinforce what a great buyer you are. Banks don't do all that. Click on the blue button today at AccuNet.com and let our passionate mortgage pros help you win while you save a bunch of money, too. That's ACCUNET.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:37.
Braden out, Brandon in for the Green Bay Packers. That story coming up in sports at 7:45.
An endangered wild feline caught in the suburbs of Chicago. This exotic animal found in someone's backyard.
A caracal is something you'd likely see in Africa or Asia, not in Jan Hoffman-Rau's Chicago area yard. And then the exotic cat
jumped on my deck, actually looked at me through the window.
It took several days to catch the caracal in Hoffman Estates, Illinois.
We think it's somebody's pet because it doesn't hunt very well. I think that it is somebody's illegal pet.
If that's the case, an owner could end up in jail along with a $1,500 fine. Police say the caracal will now have a healthy and happy life at a sanctuary in Wisconsin. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News, Chicago.
It is
come on up. Yeah, we got room for you,
It
caracal.
is a pretty cool looking cat.
It's super cool looking.
It's got these really big ears.
And then they're like hairy on the top.
And this one appears to be young, they think, and they wonder about whether or not it was just someone's pet, but they can get to be pretty decent size, 40 pounds.
They can kill a small child, they can kill your cats, they can kill your dogs, and usually as they grow, and if they're aggressive, people can't handle them, and so they dump them.
That's Jill Carnegie. So she is with the Valley of the Kings Sanctuary and Retreat right here in Wisconsin, so that's the new home for this caracal.
Yeah, it's pretty cool looking. But I was making
You
cat
wouldn't want it on
noises,
your
so-
deck, though.
No, right. Is it more of like is it a kind of noise?
It
or is it
has to have a
closer
little bit
to
of a
like
hiss.
Meow, meow.
All right, let's move on.
This report brought to you by, Steinhoffels. Visit them at steinhoffels.com. My apologies to Steinhoffels.
Steinhoffels has everything you need to get your home ready for the holidays. Elegant dining sets perfect for hosting family dinners, cozy bedrooms to relax and recharge after celebrations, and fireplaces to warm those cold winter nights. Plus, with Steinhoffels 18-month financing, getting your home ready for the holidays has never been easier. Steinhoffels, helping you make the holidays special. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com.
Hey, WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast. We update it every day with every interview, every segment, every bit we do on the show.
Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
We're thrilled to have the one and only Will Pounder.
I don't know what that means.
Labeled or known as being a big baguette.
All right, maybe we do some bits.
Be sure you subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast, presented by Tri-County Contracting.
The Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales, Luther Gray.
James Imaging has been a wonderful partnership with the Milwaukee Symphony and just great to work with.
In what ways?
If an issue does arise, they're very prompt, polite, and professional. It makes me feel empowered because I find it very easy to resolve something.
Luther James Imaging Systems is a local business technology company that stands with their clients over the long term.
Yes, before, during, and after the sale, James Imaging is there, and they are making sure you get the full value and life of every product that you have with them.
Luther, any advice for others looking for a long-term business technology partnership?
I would tell them that James Imaging is the way to go.
Start your business technology partnership with James Imaging Systems today. It's easy to do. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
At 20 to 8, what do you see on the roads, Deb?
Well, we got a little bit of a backup on eastbound 94, stretching from Highway 16 all the way past Highway F, and then back again on the brakes past Barker Road all the way to about Calhoun. And then one more delay leaving the 92nd Street area all the way through the Stadium interchange. Now, we do have a broken down vehicle on the left shoulder right about at 92nd Street, and that's making things a little bit sticky. Westbound 94 heavy from 16th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43 slowing down from Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. And then we've got some delays on the eastbound bypass coming out of the Hale interchange all the way past Loomis. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Freezing temperatures this morning with a freeze warning until 9 a.m. After that, sunshine will help warm us up into the mid-50s this afternoon. As we look towards tonight, temperatures will drop back down under clear skies into the 30s, near freezing inland, mid to upper 30s closer towards the lake. Thursday, the sunshine helps us once again. High temperatures in the mid-60s. We get warmer on Friday. All-day sunshine with high temperatures in the upper 60s. The weekend looks beautiful. A great time to get outside. High temperatures in the lower 70s on Saturday with mostly sunny skies. Sunday mostly sunny as well with high temperatures in the low to mid 70s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
37 degrees in Milwaukee.
Come with me now.
You said I had information on this story.
Well, you do.
My lack of information on the story is actually my information.
I think there's something there.
Is there?
Yes.
So there's this expected news conference today about the entertainment venue that is going up outside Fiserv Forum. So this is a joint venture with FPC Live, Milwaukee Bucks. They've got a news conference today. This is just south of Fiserv Forum. So the spot that the Bradley Center used to be on.
Okay.
They now have this announcement about a 4,000 capacity concert venue. There was also supposed to be a tandem smaller venue within inside the same facility. That plan has been scrapped, so it'll be a sort of a ballroom style concert venue that they want to build on the other side of Fiserv Forum. In fact, the pilings are already going in. Construction is underway. This is happening. There's a news conference today, and a lot of important people are involved, which causes me to believe, this might be kind of a big deal. Joel Plant is CEO of Frank Productions. Peter Fagan, president of the Bucks. The mayor's going to be there. Bob Bauman, that's his district, downtown, Alderman. Peggy Williams-Smith, president and CEO, visit Milwaukee. If it's just, hey, we're on time, we're on budget, what are all these people doing there?
Now, we have had that news conference before.
Yes, so there is that. So I reached out to various sources who have provided me information about these types of things before. And the interesting thing to me is nobody's talking to me. Nobody gave me anything.
So what does that mean?
So it means one of two things to me. It either means like this is kind of a big deal and there's something major that's going to be announced and nobody wants to mess it up or get out in front of it or step on toes. There are a lot of different entities involved here. So, right, sometimes that happens. Or it's a big fat nothing burger. And they're afraid if they told me what it actually was, nobody would go.
That's the likely scenario, right? Yeah.
Just, hey, we're on time, we're on budget. Hey, look at this.
They're really excited about it.
Pretty soon you're going to see some big beams over here.
Well, maybe like announce a band?
I think that would be the play.
Like the first
We've
first
already
gig?
booked our first act, and it's going to be
Coldplay.
Right. It's not going to be Coldplay, who sold out Camp Randall in about 7 seconds, right? That's 4,000 seats. But maybe an act or a band that
Love
you would
Monkeys.
know. Right? Somebody local, right?
Pat McCurdy.
Eddie Butt's band.
The Gups.
Eddie Butts, I think, is the Dread Pirate Roberts. Is it actually one guy, or is it just always there's always an Eddie Butts for generations to come. Right. Our children's grandchildren will still have Eddie Butts.
He said, you'll be Eddie Butts someday.
Yeah, someday
That's what he told me.
7:45. We got sports next.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here. Admit it, you've been dealing with achy joint pain for so long. It's been so long you don't even remember when it started, when you used to feel good. You do the daily doses of medication, which basically just a Band-Aid. You've done the steroid shots, and it just doesn't last, and God knows what the long-term effects are. So let's talk real lasting relief. It is possible with the help from QC Kinetics. People in Milwaukee are reducing the inflammation, getting the mobility back, and most importantly, getting their lives back. Just call QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in cellular therapies, using your own body's healing properties. Find out if you're a candidate for regenerative treatments. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Here's the number, 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, cutting-edge treatments that require no surgery, no drugs, and here's the best part, no downtime. You can go right to the office right after a treatment. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Asked Monday of this week, just days ago, if there would be a point where the Packers' kicking situation could become a problem in his eyes. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll take it day by day.
Day by day, day
by day.
Well, a new day appears to be here, ESPN's Adam Schefter first to report the Packers intend to sign veteran kicker Brandon McManus. 9 seasons with the Broncos, 1 with the Jaguars. The Jags did not re-sign him after he was accused of a sexual assault on a team flight last season.
Oof, okay.
NFL investigated, did not take disciplinary action. McManus denies the report. So NFL did its investigation, said there's nothing here that we see where he violated policy, therefore he's free to play. Packers expected to announce the release of rookie Braden Narveson and the signing of McManus today.
Something happening at Lambeau Field on Sunday. Is she playing? She's coming to Milwaukee.
I don't know who that is.
Lambeau Field on Sunday. We'll ask Tausch about it coming up in 5 minutes. A very something special. It's never happened before, is what I'm trying to say.
Milwaukee Admirals 1-1 on the young season. Looking ahead to Saturday night, UWM Panther Arena. It'll be the home opener for the Ads, who, if you recall, were pretty good last season. Heartbeat away from making the Calder Cup finals. They are an affiliate, are the Ads of the Nashville Predators, the NHL team. So given that, you don't always know who's going to be coming back into the new season. Did some guys get called up to the big club, or who's new? President of the Admirals, John Greenberg, stopped by with some good news. Fan favorite Zach LaRue, he is back.
Is capable of scoring a ton of goals. He's also capable of creating mayhem when he's on the ice. He actually led our team, I believe he led the league in penalty minutes last year. So he's a lot of fun to watch, number 68.
I love that take. We used to go to tons of Admirals games when I was a kid. And I'm sorry, you couldn't wait for a fight.
Right, yeah. You want some goons going at it.
Way to go, LaRue.
Yeah, sure, old-time hockey, like Eddie Shore. Yeah.
2 new goalies for the Ads as well. Saturday night, Rally Towel and Magnetic Schedule Night. Rockford Ice Hogs in town. Puck drops at 6 p.m.
Trouble for the Trop. The home of the Tampa Bay Rays, as you know, lost its roof in Hurricane Milton. They're now saying it's not going to be ready for opening day next year. So where are the Rays going to play? We'll find out. The Yankees win again in the ALCS. They lead the Guardians 2-0. Thought you'd appreciate this soundbite. Vince, apparently the Bronx Bombers aren't the best on the base paths. Anthony Rizzo caught in a pickle, tagged out. John Sterling's call on it is just fantastic.
And Rizzo is going to be picked off. He's in the middle between second and third. Back to second, back to third, tagged out, end of inning. Boy, if that wasn't the Yankees... That's what they do. Run the bases like drunks.
There you have it. They're that good on the base paths, apparently.
I'm sorry, how was that, sir?
Run the bases like drunks.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Get the look you want for your home with customizable windows and doors from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. The durability of materials gets tested. They open and close doors, latches, and shades tens of thousands of times to ensure that they last for years to come. Pella offers custom colors and innovative features like shades between the glass. Right now, get 0 interest for up to 36 months. Certain restrictions do apply. Ends October 31st. Get started today at PellaWI.com.
It's bird bashing season when you swoop into Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to a wicked 50 grand cash in the Bird Bash Game Show. Just play with your rewards card all October for entries. All Bird Bash entries go towards a December 20th giveaway with a monstrous 300 grand in prizes. Bird Bash makes its bewitching return. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
Longing for thick, healthy, gorgeous hair? Say goodbye to shedding thin and dull hair and hello to thick, healthy hair with hair volume from New Nordic.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Traffic here at 10 minutes before 8 o'clock, Deb.
All right, we are looking at still a little bit of a backup coming out of the Highway 16 area onto 94 eastbound. And we've also got a few more delays along eastbound 94 from 92nd Street through the Stadium Interchange. Southbound 41 slowing from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. Southbound 43 is also going to be slow from just before Silver Spring all the way to Capitol Drive. We got westbound 94 backing up too from basically 16th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ Forecast is sponsored by Dave Dracamp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition.
My name is Freeze. Learn it well.
Had a bit of a freeze overnight. Chilly temperatures starting to warm up now. Sunshine and a high of 56 degrees. is your storm team forecast for today. Chilly once again overnight. Talking about just frost inland this time, as low temperature will hover around the freezing mark. A little bit warmer near Lake Michigan. For the rest of your work week, sunny and nice on Thursday, high 64. Sunny on Friday with a high of 68. Right now, 37 in Milwaukee.
Idea Man.
My buddy that I played pickleball with this morning, he drops his wife off at the airport. He's got the fob, but the fob is in his wife's purse.
Innovator.
He went all the way to our pickleball spot, and then when he got there, the car basically told him, you can't drive anymore.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
I was just amazed that the car let you go. I can understand. He was probably jamming to Led Zeppelin or something, but...
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Do it. Mark Tausch Show on Wisconsin's Morning News, sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Actually appropriate. The land of the ice and snow.
That's
White
right.
Out conditions, E.
Yeah, you hear about this, Tausch? White uniforms and helmets for the Packers. First time at Lambeau Field in a long time. So they'll be in all white. And then it's also a winter warning game for the fans. The team asking all fans to wear white at Lambeau on Sunday.
Yeah, I did hear about it, and I kind of wondered when they made that announcement. October 20th or whatever date that ended up being. It's been balmy. Obviously, the last couple days, it's soup weather and put on a sweatshirt. But I think for me, I'm an old school traditional cat when it comes to uniforms. I'm also a heavier set fella, so all white, not great. So I wouldn't be probably as intrigued as a player to go this way. But anytime you can get your players excited, and I think the University of Oregon actually, I think, started this whole trend of going with a bunch of different uniforms, and Nike obviously has originated out there. So the fact that the players get as excited as they do, and the whiteout helmets, and I think the fans, and the fact that you can sell more merchandise, I think all in all, I can't sit here and be Johnny Curmudgeon and say you shouldn't do this. It's just, for me, I like the classic traditional gold pants, green jerseys, yellow helmets. That's where I'm at, but I get what the Packers are doing.
74 degrees, the predicted high temperature in Green Bay.
Yeah, not much of a winter.
But you could argue that's actually better for this. Like, you'll probably have more people in white because it'll be nice and mild. Because if it was really cold, everyone's got their coats on. No one's got a white
orange
coat.
then.
Look at Bilstad being the voice of reason again. Yeah, I mean, because when you start thinking about it, you see a lot of blaze orange. You'll see some camouflage. You'll see dark jackets. Like, when you start getting into that November, December, January weather, you go up to Lambeau, you don't see a ton of people wearing white T-shirts or, white jackets. You don't see that. So Eric's on a roll, man. Erik Bilstad is on a roll. He, again, I had not thought of it from that perspective. If you're wanting to white something out, you don't want it to be in January unless the snow is falling with it, and then everything blends together, and then that's even sexier than what you're going to see on Sunday.
Pivoting to this, and it's not our team, Tausch. Go ahead.
Yeah, quick. I still have yet to figure out the NFL schedule and why they do what they do, because this matchup, I'm not saying both teams are going to be in the Super Bowl, but I'm definitely saying it could happen.
Yeah.
And I love noon games, but from a TV perspective, why would they not flex this game this weekend? This is one of your best matchups you're going to have all season. The Houston Texans 5-1 coming into town. They have a young quarterback that is a star. We have a young quarterback that is a star at Lambeau Field, whiteout game, and you decide to not flex it. It doesn't make much sense to me.
And what's killing me about, and granted, we have early hours, as do you, Tausch, so the primetime games are really tough. And if you're up early with us, at 6 a.m. for the show, it's probably the same for you. Those primetime games are hard for us coming into the work week. That said, too, you've got great weather this weekend. Be great to settle in for at least a 325, if not a 725, right? And get your stuff done, enjoy some time in the yard or out doing whatever.
Exactly. The NFL is always going to do what's best for them, and that's business. They should. I don't know why you wouldn't flex this thing out. And I don't even know what the Sunday night game is. I'm fairly certain if it's not the Detroit-Minnesota game, which is a very good matchup, and I'm excited to watch that as well. I don't know if you're having a better matchup, and the whole point of this flexing is to get the big boy games at those big boy times, and that doesn't seem to be the case.
I found it. It's your boy Aaron Rodgers. Jets and Steelers. 2-4 Jets.
Oh, perfect.
Be the 4-2 Steelers.
Number
but
17 is going to be in the white and green.
Yeah, it's that was I tried to set you up, Vinny, for a really easy segue
nice.
to the Devontae. It's so fun to watch, and I'm sure you guys hear this. We hear it all the time. There is why are we talking about the Jets? The fatigue of Aaron Rodgers, and Packer fans are so happy that they're kind of done with this, but you're still intrigued. Like, Packer fans are still very intrigued, and the fact that you now have one of the greatest receivers to ever don a green and gold uni, one of the greatest quarterbacks, and they're trying to recreate what we saw in 2018 to 2021. And we'll see. I think if I'm a Jets fan, I don't mind this move because I think it's bold and they needed to do it. But I just look at this from a Packer fan standpoint and say, thank you, Brian Gutekunst. You nailed both of these when it comes to when you traded, how you did it, how you built your football team. Because is there anybody that would rather be a Jets fan than a Packers fan, even now, and not even looking at 25 and 26 and 27 and 28? Like, thank you, Brian Gutekunst, is all I could think of when that trade happened yesterday.
Talk again tomorrow, Tausch. Dead on.
See you guys.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
A strike at the Miller Brewery ended Monday after the group of 43 workers ratified a new contract. The work stoppage involved mechanics and machine repair workers, but the brewery said it did not impact product availability. Plans for Wisconsin's first Buc-ee's location in DeForest are stalled until at least the end of the year. The delay is due to efforts by the Texas-based gas station chain to get the state to pick up about $7 million in infrastructure improvements. Plymouth-based company Carbliss, which makes vodka, tequila, and rum-based canned cocktails with 0 carbs and sugar, has entered the Chicago market. This comes after striking a deal with beer distributor Chicago Beverage Systems. I'm Drew Dawson with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
Those who don't have 20/20 vision usually do something about it. But many who can't breathe freely through their nose just live with it, not realizing they can have 20/20 breathing. At Advent, we're out to change that. With 20/20 breathing, you'll have fewer sinus infections, more energy, you'll sleep better, and you will live better. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. In 2006, Advent pioneered the balloon sinuplasty procedure. And since, thousands of our patients can tell you, this simple 20-minute in-office solution really works. Balloon sinuplasty can give you 20/20 breathing so you can breathe freely through both nostrils with your mouth closed day and night. And that can change your life.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Kohler Services and Gadish Foundation. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. Yet at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Protect mom's assets, protect your assets. Call Krause Estate Planning, estateplanningpeople.com.
Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
8:01, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Wednesday, October 16th, our top story. Milwaukee Public Schools takes a loss inside and outside the classroom.
I'm Erik Bilstad, returning power to the people.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Northbound 43, right about at Fond du Lac Avenue. We got the right lane blocked with a broken down vehicle, so watch out for that. The southbound side slowing down from just south of Bender Road all the way down to Capitol Drive. Eastbound 94, you'll find delays from Highway 16 all the way through the Barker Road area to Brookfield Road, and then back on the brakes from 92nd Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. Westbound 94 is going to be slow from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard as well, and northbound 41 slowing from Wisconsin Avenue all the way up towards Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Morning freeze and then sunshine, but a chilly high of just 56 degrees, and conditions remain cool overnight. Frost expected inland as temperatures will dip right down to the freezing mark, a little bit warmer by the lake overnight. Right now, Milwaukee up to 38, and from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee Public Schools due to receive $587 million in general aid for the 2024-25 school year, but it's roughly $8 million short of what the district thought it would be getting. Last year, MPS got almost $50 million more in funding. Department of Public Instruction Interim Communications Director Chris Bucher says that's based on the district's prior year student counts, financial data, and property values. An amended budget will be brought forward to the Board of School Directors October 29th.
Trouble for a pair of MPS schools on the football field. The WIAA is ruling that both Bayview and Pulaski High Schools must forfeit all of the games for the rest of the year after district administrators failed to submit the proper paperwork to change conferences. 4 members of the Milwaukee Common Council issued a statement criticizing the office's commissioner, Bobby Kelsey. In addition to forfeiting the games, both schools have been banned from the playoffs for 2 years.
Milwaukee Common Council approved $1.7 million in American Rescue Plan Act funds for crisis prevention. Money will be going to programs related to eviction prevention, home buyer down payment assistance, housing for LGBTQ plus youth, pregnant mothers in need, and more. Organizations getting the funding include Eviction Free Milwaukee, Zilber Family Foundation, The Bridge Project, and Courage Milwaukee.
More cleanup and recovery effort in Florida that were hit hardest by Hurricanes Helene and Milton. More than 3 million Florida residents were without power at the peak. That number is now down, thanks in part to a Wisconsin crew.
We Energy's operations manager Nate Scarians is among the crew from Wisconsin helping restore power in the Tampa area.
After the hurricane came through, we came through the next day.
A staging area is set up for all assisting crews, nearly 700 people in total, at a community college near Raymond James Stadium. Crews are given their assignment each morning before getting out to work. A welcome sight for residents.
That's a big motivator for us. As soon as they see our trucks rolling up, the customers are coming out. We had a bunch of pizza bought for us yesterday.
The Wisconsin crew is working in conjunction with crews from New York, Rhode Island, and as far west as California. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
These back-to-back storms putting a strain on the federal program designed to help small businesses get back on their feet following natural disasters.
In the wake of Hurricanes Helene and Milton, the Small Business Administration has run out of money for its disaster assistance loans. Congress would have to approve more funding, and as of now, will not convene until after the election. The SBA is pausing new loan offers, but the program administrator says people should keep submitting applications. About 50,000 of them have come in for the 2 recent storms. The SBA has made 700 offers totaling $48 million. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
Milwaukee County Parks removing the plaque on Milwaukee's last ancient indigenous burial mound.
The plaque was placed at Lake Park in 1910 at the request of the Wisconsin Archaeological Society to indicate a 2,000-year-old burial site. But the plaque was situated at the highest point of the mound, which inadvertently encouraged visitors to walk on the site in order to read the marker. This disturbs the sacredness of the mound and defaces its surface. After holding discussion with professionals, Milwaukee County Parks initiated a respectful process to remove the marker, and they plan to restore the turf disturbed during excavation. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Coming up, split right down the middle. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:05.
News is sponsored by BBC Lighting. Thousands of specialty light fixtures, open Monday through Saturday.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With shorter days in the forecast, brighten up now with top quality lighting and ceiling fans at unbeatable prices. In our award-winning showroom, you'll see our new display of Visual Comfort brand lighting along with their newest LED lights and ceiling fans. We carry every major brand and our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and on Saturdays from 10 to 4. We're located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Parents and grandparents, have your kid's birthday party at the amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford or Oshkosh. The party rooms are free, and they'll love the massive game room and pizza with no cooking or cleanup. Book your birthday party at mineshaft.restaurant.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:06.
Homeless encampments leading to the closure of several park and rides in Milwaukee County. Law enforcement say they've responded to nearly 300 calls ranging from assault, theft, shots fired, drug overdoses since July. Now, how do other Wisconsin cities handle the homelessness issue? Pearl Webster of Safe Shelter in Green Bay telling Wisconsin's Afternoon News they're transforming a shelter into a treatment center.
We're trying to get to the preventive stage, the education phase, the wraparound services that are going to provide the services before they get to the point where the devastating outcomes of addictions.
Webster says architectural work is in progress. They're trying to upgrade the facility to provide substance abuse use treatment instead of those traditional, more shelter-like care.
Decision, Wisconsin. The vice president expected to be stumping in the state on Thursday. Cudahy Police Department warning people, though, that there will be some road closures even this evening in the Cudahy area in and around the airport because of the arrival of the vice president. Meanwhile, a new Marquette University Law School poll, a national survey out this morning, not just for Wisconsin, but for across the country. This survey finds that Vice President Kamala Harris leads the former President Donald Trump 48 to 47% among likely voters, with 4% saying they'll vote for somebody else. However, when asked if they had to vote for either Harris or Trump, the poll was split right down the middle, 50-50.
Here's a different type of poll worker.
DJs at the Polls is a national, nonpartisan effort designed to get more people to vote. Local DJ Erik is one of them.
Obviously, we're not playing anything hyper politically charged. We're not playing anything with dirty versions. This is a family-friendly event.
The thought is that voting is something that should be celebrated. The group says there's evidence music at the polls works.
Just even initially, it was a 3% bump at local polling places that they had in Pennsylvania.
Jessica Tai, WTMJ News.
Coming up, you heard Erik reference the Marquette University Law School poll. Another thing that it shows about voter enthusiasm and why that means you can expect more knocks at your door. That story next.
Looking ahead to life's next adventure? Hi, I'm Mike Yancey from Yancey & Associates. Whether you're buying a home or launching your dream business, we know there's a lot on your plate. But here's the thing, you don't have to go it alone. Since 1946, we've helped Wisconsinites like you secure, protect, and grow their version of the American dream. Our team is ready to tailor the perfect plan for you. Learn more at ansay.com. That's ANSAY.com.
You know what doesn't get better on its own? Cracks and potholes in your driveway or your parking lot. Vince Vitrano for Johnson & Sons Paving. I've been working with the Johnson family for nearly 2 years now. I am no expert on asphalt and concrete. However, this much we all know, right? Those cracks and potholes, they will get worse, especially over the winter months and the freeze-thaw cycle. So let's get you on the schedule, at least for a site visit. Your Johnson & Sons project manager will give you an honest assessment of the state of your pavement, what you might need to do to fix or replace, and a no-obligation quote for all the work. They do it with pride. They do it in-house. You need to do it before the snow flies. Plenty of Johnsons over there. No subcontractors. Asphalt and concrete. JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
Enjoy a free prime rib dinner tonight at the historic Fox and Hounds. Recently voted the best supper club in the area. WTMJ's John Mercure here, and with the fall colors, it's a great time to experience the Fox and Hounds near Holy Hill. It's been serving fabulous dinners for almost 90 years in their rustic timber building. Every Wednesday and Saturday, when you buy one prime rib dinner, your second is free. Also, order your favorite steak, seafood, grilled salmon, a big salad, the ribs, even steak and lobster, anything on the menu. Your second dinner is free tonight. Sip on a delicious Manhattan, enjoy an old-fashioned, check out the bourbons, or select from over 100 wines. The Fox and Hound sits in the Kettle Moraine Forest. The setting is beautiful. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the famous Holy Hill Shrine, with the fall colors. The drive through the Kettle Moraine Forest is spectacular. Those fall colors look great in the beer garden they've got, too. A Wisconsin must-see. Enjoy your free prime rib dinner tonight. Tables are available. Visit foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
At 8:11, how's the morning drive, Deb?
Well, we do still have some delays on 94 eastbound coming from Highway 16 to about 164. Then you're backing up again right past Highway F and again coming out of the Barker Road area. Delays from 92nd Street all the way through the Stadium interchange as well. Now, the westbound side, got some backups from about 30th Street all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. Back on the brakes through the Zoo interchange heading towards the county line. Eastbound 894 backing up out of the Hale interchange all the way to Loomis. We've also got some backups northbound on 41 from about Watertown Plank Road all the way up towards Burleigh. Southbound slowing down around the North Avenue curve as well. Southbound 43 slowing from Bender Road all the way down towards Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your weather today, we're starting out chilly.
The Iceman cometh.
I don't know if it's that bad, but we did have that morning freeze. Sunshine and a high of 56 degrees. We'll be cold again tonight. We have frost expected inland, 32 degrees your inland low. A little bit warmer by the lake. Rest of the work week looks good. Sunny and nice with a high of 64 tomorrow. Friday's high 68 under sunny skies. Right now 37 in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Streaming live anytime on the YouTubes. Also available in video form on our digital app or WTMJ.com. And the podcast available. Greg Pancake Hill, who produces the program, starts podcasting the show as we go. So if you've missed any portion of the program today, you want to catch up, that is available as well, wherever you get your podcasts. Election Day, November 5th. But significantly, in-person absentee voting, heard it already began in Georgia this week. It begins here in Wisconsin next week. This, as we already know, more than 250,000 ballots have been cast in our state already. So these would be absentee votes, and they've either been mailed back to clerks or clerks have recovered them from drop boxes for folks who filled them out and deposited them that way. And we have that data from the Wisconsin Elections Commission, which updates that on a fairly regular basis. As for in-person absentee voting, a lot of folks call it early voting. Days and locations, hours for that vary by community. So if that is your plan for voting, you want to vote early, as we say, you got to check with your local clerk's office if that's how you want to vote. If you live in Madison and Milwaukee, you can vote virtually around the clock for that 2-week period, right? They'll have hours on Saturday. They'll have hours on Sunday. They'll have multiple locations. If you live in some rural community, your clerk might have hours once a week and then everything in between. So it just varies. Quick aside, I think that's ridiculous, but that's a topic for another discussion, which I will come back and bother you with again, E. Because I just don't think we should have boutique rules for voting. But
even though some areas have 18 times the amount of people versus
also
other.
Fair. Anyway, what I want to talk about today is it's really about the ground game at this point anymore. Like, who is changing someone's mind? I asked you this question before. Like, if you have a conversation with someone who's ideologically opposed to your politics, what luck do you expect to have in changing that person's vote, changing them over to your side?
0%.
Right? And the number of people who will change how they think about something based on what they've read on your Facebook page is 0. The next one will be the first, right? But yet we're all out there going, if you plan to vote for this person, you should know. It's not working. And the campaigns, they understand that. And what I think is so fascinating about where we are over the last decade or so, certainly the last couple election cycles, is what the campaigns have realized in these razor-tight races as we've had, as this one for president appears to be again, is that the play is not to focus on changing people's minds about the candidate or even necessarily about those undecideds. There allegedly are still some undecideds. I don't know how that can be at this point. But really, it's more about focusing on getting your votes out. The Marquette University Law School poll that you just referenced in the Newsy, national survey, one of the questions they asked in terms of who, outside of who you're voting for and all these other things, I always think this is an interesting question. This is about voter enthusiasm. And it basically is trying to measure who's going to actually turn their votes out. Because if you're enthusiastic about voting, you maybe already cast your ballot. You maybe already did the absentee. You're going to vote early. You want to make sure you're voting. If you're not so enthusiastic, you may not show up.
Meh, we'll see.
Yes.
Is it raining that day? Are the lines long?
Yeah, I may vote, right? So this is how they phrase the question. How enthusiastic are you about voting in the elections in November 2024 for president and other offices? Would you say you are very, somewhat, not too, or not at all enthusiastic? And then they tabulate these results. And this was a national poll. 18% of registered voters, so these are people who are registered to vote, who identify as Democrats, said they were either not too or not at all enthusiastic about voting in this coming election. Number was 20% for Republicans who said the same. So these are folks who are probably otherwise aligned with either VP Harris or former President Trump, but they're like, meh.
That's a significant number on both sides.
That's the election, right? 18% of Democrats who are registered to vote, 20% of Republicans registered to vote. What's our margin in Wisconsin? 1% in the last couple of elections? That's the election, which I think is so fascinating, probably why you're going to have more knocks at your door. We had an interesting one the other day at my house. You had one at yours. Pancake had one at his. Yep. All probably different types of operations. Ours was the other day. A lady came to the door, and she had the classic door-to-door person look. She had like some sort of vest on, and there was a lanyard of some kind.
A lanyard, okay.
Identifying her. It could have been her student ID for all you know, but wearing a lanyard. This must be someone official.
Very important.
Yes.
Clipboard guy-esque.
Clipboard and all, yes. And she knocks on the door. I go to the door, and she says, may I speak with Nicole Vitrano? Which is not me. So I'm like, absolutely. Because now I'm off the hook for whatever this is about to be.
Yes, please, let me go get her quick.
Let me get her. She's right here, and she cannot wait to talk to you. So I go, and wife says, like, who is it? I don't know. Ask for you.
Not my problem.
So she goes, relatively short conversation. She's back in the room. I'm like, what was that? She's like, oh, somebody asking who I was going to vote for. And I said, what did you say? She's like, well, I said, I don't share that information. And she said she was polite, and then the person left. I'm like, well, now I'm interested. Like the reporter in me is like, okay, who's she working for? Yeah. What is the motivation? Like what's happening here? My wife didn't follow up, but so I'm going to offer you a theory based on what happened there. I believe it was someone affiliated with one of the campaigns, or at least a special interest that supports those campaigns. And I say that because it wasn't just a survey. She didn't have any interest in me. Wasn't there to talk to me.
Is it because you're a guy or something else?
I think it's because, and if you get a knock like this at your door, in some of these cases, you're on a list somewhere. One of the campaigns or one of these interests think that you're likely to vote a certain way based on some sort of other prior affiliation. So maybe you were in a public employees union, so the Democrats think you're more likely to vote for them, or maybe you volunteered for a Republican campaign somewhere one time or contributed money to something and they think you're more likely to vote for them. So then they're sending folks out hand-to-hand combat, person-to-person, door-to-door, to, if you give the right answer to the question of who you're going to vote for, it's followed by, here's how you vote early, here's how you get an absentee ballot, here's what time your clerk's office open, like all the information.
How can I help you make sure you cast a ballot?
And can I mark you off as for sure going to vote?
Yeah.
Or do I need to come back and bother you again? Because you got to get every single one of those votes out. It's about getting those people who are kind of indifferent as to whether or not they're going to vote, making sure every one of those go. That's what I think happened there.
My situation was different. Mine was just a guy who asked, hi, can I ask you a couple of questions about the upcoming election?
No.
I was like, absolutely not. Actually, he was super polite. I just said, I'm like, I work in the media. I'm like, I'm not comfortable answering any question like that. And he goes, okay, sounds good.
I've given that answer before.
It was actually very nice. It was the easiest guy to get off my stoop in a long time. Usually the bug guy or some of those players, I can't get those guys out of here. Like they sit.
Right.
Hey,
you sure want me to have a look?
Hey, these shingles up here. No, beat it. Get
Siding looks, I was just looking over the
I don't know. Your neighbor said you'd be interested. I don't care what my neighbor said. I don't.
And also, he didn't say that.
Yeah, there's no way he said that.
Otherwise, we're going to have a talk with Mike or Steve.
Yeah.
Why you send this guy over here? I think that's interesting. That's probably more of a survey or a poll. And I've given that answer before as well.
Yeah,
I'm not right.
What
Great
about
Pancake
you, Greg?
Hill also had a an encounter.
Yeah, so mine seemed more territorial. The guy was just going and, said whatever candidate they were stumping for. And typically I just say, oh, yeah. Again, the effort to get him off my porch. Super nice guy, but I think he was just making his rounds. What was more interesting about my interaction was about a day or two later, I got a phone call. Again, not like me, answering the phone.
Yeah, what
with
are you
a
doing
number
answering
I
your
don't
phone
know,
over there?
for real, or answering my door. That's a different discussion. And it was someone asking how that person did. Hey, heard you met so-and-so. They came to your door. How were they? Were they pleasant? Like asking for a progress report. And I was very honest and said it was very pleasant. Didn't bug me much and just kind of doing his job. I get it. But the call afterwards to say like, hey, so-and-so was in your area. Did you talk to him? How'd it go? That was interesting to me.
Did you answer his question correctly for a particular candidate?
Yes, I did.
Again, like what he was
And you
hoping
won
to
a
hear?
toaster.
Correct. You know what? If he would have led with something like, hey, you get something, I would have been more inclined. But there was also, I don't know if that's probably not legal in a lot of different facets. But yeah, he was very kind, answered his questions, and he was like, all right, great. My
Leave you
work
with
is done here.
some literature, some reading material?
Of course.
Very nice.
Good. All right, so you feel fine with that? I have to admit, like, it feels a little bit shady when there's somebody at your door asking you about election stuff.
Yeah,
it feels shady.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it is, and I'm not saying anything illegal or untoward is happening here. I'm just saying, like, it just feels weird. Or people, it's public record, not who you vote for, but whether
if
you vote.
Voted, yes. And I've gotten that before. I've gotten that letter saying, hey, by the way, a lot of your neighbors in this area haven't voted. You should really suggest that they vote.
Mine was interesting, too. The guy wasn't, like, decked out in garb or anything. Like, he wasn't wearing flags or wearing all this, like, memorabilia to a specific candidate.
Right.
He just looked like a dude. Who
He wasn't wearing
that's
flags.
kind of why
Like Captain America at your door?
I mean, like,
I'm election man.
at least
A lanyard.
Hello, election man, you're saying. But yeah, a lanyard,
Or
a button,
like what you
something.
No lanyard?
No, nothing. Again, he looked like a dude, which made me more inclined to answer the door at all, because if I see a clipboard or anything, I'm not answering that door.
I don't know. I think you should file an addendum then on your interviewer to find out how Mike did or whatever at your door. Say, hey, no lanyard?
What?
No clipboard?
This
What
has me
operation you running over there?
This has me wondering, too, what's proper etiquette? How long do you stand on the stoop and ring the doorbell if you know someone's home and they're not answering the door?
Oh, it's one ring, and if you know they're home, like if you hear it ring, then you get one ring.
But if I'm standing out there and I see you, like, lurking in one of the windows and you're not answering, do I just keep ringing?
What's the likelihood I'm going to want to talk to you then?
Right, that. And for someone who has a 1-year-old at home who could be napping at any point, do not ring more doorbell more than once, please.
If you do the ring but you're not sure it's rung, that's a tough one. Then you follow with the knock.
I've had to do a second ring because I wasn't sure. And
All right.
I'm embarrassed
Coming.
about that.
8:23 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Any door knocks over there for you, Deb?
Oh, I do get them every once in a while. People selling things. And I'm like, I'm sorry, it's policy. I don't do anything from door-to-door salesman. Sorry. They're like,
that's interesting.
Okay. Yeah, well, I've been burned in the past, so. All right, so let's see what we got.
Story for another day.
Story for another day. Well, it was a security system, and the security system went belly up about a month and a half later after we bought it. And it just was a mess. So, 4394 northbound, a mile just past the Mitchell interchange. We've got the right shoulder blocked with a broken down vehicle. Also an issue on Howell Avenue, Highway 38 and Air Cargo Way. Basically at the end of the airport spur, 2 left lanes are blocked because of a crash. So watch out for that one. We've also got a broken down vehicle on the off-ramp to 84th Street from 94 westbound. However, eastbound is where we're seeing the big delays from 92nd Street all the way through the stadium. Southbound on 43 backing up from Hampton Avenue, or Silver Spring actually, all the way down to Capitol Drive. Heading into the Marquette's actually looking okay. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Wisconsin volleyball has a new home.
It's match point in Madison.
Catch all the excitement of the 2024 season.
Booth and Spreck putting up that Wisconsin wall.
And don't miss out on moments like this.
Booth dunks it down with 2 hands, and that's a point for Wisconsin. Set Spreck, kill Franklin.
Badgers volleyball on WTMJ is presented by Steinhoffels. Don't miss any of the action right here on Wisconsin's radio station, 620 WTMJ.
Is your shower and or tub space looking like it could use an update? WTMJ Sidex are pairing together to give away a tub or shower conversion. Your chance to get a full makeover valued at up to $10,000. Here's the contest. Take a picture of your shower and tub space and text CREEPY to the WTMJ talk and text line, 855-616-1620. You submit the picture, and you could win a full conversion from our friends at Sidex. For contest rules, visit our website, WTMJ.com.
He told us to load 4 yards into his 8-foot bed, but we knew that 3 full, honestly measured yards were going to fill his truck bed to the rim. After we proved that, he told us the other guys have been telling him he's been getting 4 yards in there for years. Honest measurements and honest folks who just want to do you right. So you come back. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. We did the math. When you buy bagged mulch from the big guys, you pay $50 a yard. Why pay more for inferior mulch? When you buy from Erickson's, you'll get premium mulch for almost half the cost. And you'll see that even our economy mulch is better, for less than half the cost of bag mulch. And either choice is made with premium colorant that lasts longer. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
No, that wasn't Brewers buzz in Port Washington. It was not excitement over the crew.
Nor was it severe weather.
It was not a tornado. It was not winter weather issues. It was none of that. But we just had a siren that went on and went on and went on in Port Washington. Here's how it reads: the Port Washington Police Department on its Facebook page. We at the police department are aware that the tornado siren on the west end of the city is actively going off.
Can you imagine?
Just nonstop. Ma.
Do you want me to do the noise or no?
Oh.
I can.
Please, would you?
Do you want me to or no? I won't do it if you don't want me to.
Well, your sound will be almost too perfect like an actual siren. Yeah, and imagine that all the time. All the time. A call for service has been made, said the police department. We hope it can be rectified soon. That's not a good sign when you hear that. Oh.
I could make it more annoying.
So the police department went on to say, unfortunately, this activation is of no fault to anyone turning it on and forgetting about it. Therefore, it cannot just be turned off. Now, that's where I beg to differ. I firmly believe if you really wanted it off, I bet there's a wire you could cut somewhere.
Yeah, can't you just pull the plug on it? While this continues to malfunction, we'll shut it down. We know there's no severe weather today.
Flip a circuit breaker somewhere, call we energies. Hey, can you just
until they come out.
Kill this, please? Anyway, we're told that it's not on in the morning now.
Unrelated story, but to that point, we had in the middle of the night one time, when we were living in Bayview, and so you park on the street, right out in front of our house, one of the cars, the horn started going.
Oh, no. That is the worst.
Full blast, wouldn't stop, didn't short out, didn't come back, just
So what'd you do?
So I found the fuse, and I pulled the fuse.
Oh, it was your car?
It was my wife's car.
Oh.
No, it was us. It was our car.
I was going to say, wow.
Well, first you wake up annoyed, who the hell who's next? Oh, that's me. That's us.
I see.
So I went out there in the dark, I'm trying to figure out, I'm fumbling around. I'm like, that was what popped into my head is, let's pop the fuse, disable the horn that way, and then we'll worry about fixing it later.
Nothing to suggest that's what they did in Port Washington.
Doesn't sound like it.
They did ask people not to call 911 and please stop calling dispatch. We are aware of the issue.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:30.
Questions you might hear a lot this fall. Will my team make the playoffs? How much snow are we getting this winter? And whatever happened to Tammy Baldwin? After 25 years in D.C., Baldwin sides with the extreme left. Baldwin voted to give nearly $1 billion in COVID relief money to criminals in prison, even the Boston Marathon bomber. That's nuts. And she supports forcing women's domestic violence shelters to admit biological men who claim to be women. Baldwin even backed puberty blockers and sex change surgeries for minor children in Wisconsin. So here's one more question. Now that Baldwin's gone so far left, why should we keep her in the Senate? It's time to replace Tammy Baldwin. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
It's David Nason, your personal inspection pro from WTMJ's The Fix-It Show. I'm with my go-to basement repair guy, Chris Mancuso of Accurate Basement Repair. This is the team I personally recommend for leaky or cracked basements.
Wow, thanks, David. Our team at Accurate Basement Repair has been fixing leaky and cracked basements for the Fix-It listeners for over 20 years.
That's great, Chris. For more information about how to schedule a free inspection and estimate, check out AccurateBasementRepair.com because they're not just good, they're accurate.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. One call, that's all.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
While you're navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line.
414-238-9329.
8:32, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Wednesday, October 16th, our top story. An accused killer heads back to court.
I'm Erik Bilstad, back to work in the Miller Valley.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We do still have an issue right near the airport on Highway 38 or Howell Avenue and Air Cargo Way. 2 left lanes are blocked on the southbound side of Howell because of this crash. We've also got a delay along 94 eastbound coming out of the Barker Road area and then again back on the brakes from 92nd Street through the stadium. Southbound on 41 backing up just a bit from just south of Capitol Drive down to about Mayfair Road. Northbound slowing down from Watertown Plank Road up towards Burleigh. And southbound 43, slowing from before Silver Spring all the way to Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Freezy morning today. Sunny and a high of 56 degrees is the best we can do for you. But then things will warm up later in the week. Clear and chilly overnight. Frost expected inland with a low of 32. A little bit warmer by the lake. But warming up already for Thursday with a high of 64 under sunny skies. Right now 38 in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, trial for a man from Greenfield accused of killing his infant daughter decades ago is now underway. 55 years old now is Roger Schrader. He used to perform as Silly the Clown and was reportedly the last person with his daughter before a 911 call was made. First responders all those years ago say the 7-week-old was found unresponsive inside the family's apartment in Greenfield in 1991. Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office found that Catherine Schrader died from blunt force trauma. Roger Schrader then charged with homicide shortly thereafter, only now going to trial.
Among those who took the stand in that case, retired first responders, including former Greenfield Fire Chief Gary Bauer, who responded to the 911 call.
The blood pressure, we could not obtain a blood pressure, could not obtain a pulse, and the person was not breathing.
The trial is expected to continue into next week.
Local crews helping restore power for millions of residents in Florida.
The weather's been pretty good. The water is actually starting to recede a little bit more now.
We Energy's operations manager Nate Scarigans and the crew from Wisconsin are teaming up with companies from other states in an all-hands-on-deck approach.
Companies from New York to Rhode Island, California, Louisiana, all over the place.
So when will the Wisconsin crew come back?
Yeah, we'll be down here until the customers have the power back on and we're no longer needed.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Dozens are still missing in the aftermath of those storms in the South. ABC's Christiane Cordero.
Nearly 3 weeks after Hurricane Helene, North Carolina's governor says 92 people are still unaccounted for in his state. The governor says nearly $100 million in FEMA funds have now been paid out to individual survivors. Across the border in Tennessee, the family of a man killed in the flooding has filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the plastics company where he worked. The family claims workers were forced to stay at the plant even as conditions grew more dangerous. 11 employees were swept away. Only 5 were rescued.
More than 300 died across the Southeast after those hurricanes.
Machinists back to work at Molson Coors after reaching an agreement. Molson Coors had 43 union members of the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers. Lodge 66 ended the strike last week. Molson Coors reaching a 3-year agreement with those machinists.
Time now for News About Your Money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is starting the day up 58, the NASDAQ down 26, and the S&P is down 1. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com.
Coming up, the kids can't play, and it's not their fault.
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
Luther Gray is Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales at the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra. Luther, tell us about the orchestra's mission.
We provide over 135 shows a year, classical concerts, pop concerts, family and educational concerts, and also we do many performances throughout the state as well.
And James Imaging Systems provides their expertise to support the symphony.
Yes, James Imaging is there. It makes it so much easier for us, and they help keep us on schedule.
Luther, it seems that with captivating audiences with acclaimed musical performances, many would like an opportunity to get involved.
That is correct. Attending the concerts is great, giving is great, but the volunteerism is wonderful as well. We need all of that to be a successful, thriving orchestra.
What's the first step people can take to ensure that long-term success?
They can go to our website at mso.org.
That's mso.org. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
We've found that the high road is worth the climb, and it's less crowded. At Semper Fi, everything we do is done to the best of our ability. There are no shortcuts. It's pretty simple. We do what we say we're going to do because we fully understand that a reputation is never given. It's always earned. It is in our nature to keep our values intact so that when we leave your job, you'll be right there to shake our hand with satisfaction. We've installed massive flat roofs and shingled huge churches, schools, and all kinds of homes from modest to extravagant, all with integrity and pride in our work. And we're going to keep doing it for generations to come. That's what Always Faithful means to us. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
8:38 on Wisconsin's Morning News. I want to get into this story because every moment of your young life is like virtually irreplaceable. I think about this with the kids in COVID and what they went through. If you were in college or high school or whatever, if you were in high school during the COVID year and you missed your prom, you can't get that back, right? You know, for us as adults, okay, COVID was hard for a lot of folks and you missed things and whatever, but whatever. We get those years back or we make up for it later. You can't replace junior prom.
Yeah.
You can't replace your your high school senior season of soccer or golf or whatever it is that you're into, a band.
Right,
you know, those things are gone. And I put that lens on this story about football with an MPS, and it's not really a football story. It's a kids missing opportunity story, and it's a screw up on the part of MPS. Yeah, 2 Milwaukee City Conference football teams just found out this week that they have to forfeit all the games they've already played this season, and for the next couple of seasons, they can't even participate in the playoffs no matter how good they are. So not for nothing, but you're always trying to get to the next level, right? You want to make the playoffs. And they learned this from the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association, the WIAA, which is the governing body for high school sports in Wisconsin. Programs are Bayview and Pulaski. And it's not the school's fault. It's not the coach's fault, and it certainly isn't the kid's fault. Information here is from City of Milwaukee, several Common Council members signing on to a statement of disgust as to how this is all played out for these young athletes and their families and their coaches and staff, school, as well as Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. JS reports the WIAA informed the schools Monday of that punishment. The problem is Milwaukee City Conference has 2 divisions. Many other conferences do that as well. We're in the Woodland Conference in Greendale. We've got this division, that division. And they wanted to do some shuffling in the offseason. So they wanted to move Bayview from one division to the other and Pulaski from that division into the one, whatever. They just want to swap them out.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's a conference realignment, if you will. You have to inform the WIAA of that, and the WIAA, as that governing body, has to approve that change. It's pretty much a rubber stamp, unless there's something controversial about it. So it's no big deal. But as it turns out, MPS didn't do it. They either never filled out or never filed with the WIAA this paperwork that is required for that approval. So WIAA finds out about it, and they're like, none of this wasn't approved. These are technically like out of conference games or out of division. Anyway, violation of the rules, and we void your season. And you also have this punishment. Now, folks can debate the WIAA's decision.
That a little over the top also?
And MPS reportedly is going to appeal that. And, it's one of those things of you're punishing the kids for stuff that wasn't your fault. Okay, that said, and I'm no big defender of WIAA, but also you can't have a billion different of these things coming up saying, well, it wasn't the kid's fault, but what people got to do their job.
Eventually you have to do what you're supposed to.
And there are rules. And if you're out in the suburbs there and you were supposed to play one of these teams in the playoffs that violated the rules and they knock your team out, you're like, hey. Okay, so you might have a different thought then as to whether or not the WIAA ought to come down on schools not following the rules. It's all coming down on a woman who is the top athletics official for the Milwaukee City Conference, the MPS employee Bobby Kelsey. They're saying she's the one who dropped the ball. She didn't file this stuff. Milwaukee Common Council even is piling on. Several council members signing on to a letter where they say this is unconscionable as the hopes and dreams of players on these teams and the coaching staffs have been crushed because the top athletics official for the city conference dropped the ball. They also call all of this unacceptable. They say actually it's a wider problem in MPS sports. MPS athletics is losing people due to the dysfunction in how Ms. Kelsey handles her duties is part of the letter. Difficult enough getting good coaches and administrative stakeholders to step forward and help our student athletes. I don't know how it's remedied other than how it is, other than MPS has to answer about this employee. And once again, you have the kids on the receiving end of bad outcomes because of incompetence among the adults who are running the schools that they rely on. It is 8:42 on Wisconsin's Morning News. What do you got on the roads, Deb?
Well, we've got some backups. Eastbound 94 backing up from 92nd Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. We've got southbound 43 hitting the brakes from just south of Good Hope Road. Pretty much, that's actually cleared up. So we're looking pretty good all the way down past Capitol Drive. Yay. We do have one accident. This is off the freeway, though. It's on Howell Avenue southbound right near the airport spur. 2 left lanes are blocked with a crash there, so give yourself tons of extra time. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Happy fall! WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattress. Built Right's 96th anniversary mattress celebration on now. Their one location saves you time and money, and they make it easy to shop and easy to buy. Built Right beats any big box, national, or local chain store, department store, employee-free store, online retailer, or warehouse club because they have the guaranteed lowest prices. Built Right also has the best value, selection, service, and experienced team in Wisconsin. More than 60 models and 500 mattresses in stock. Choose from the best mattress brands. Made in the USA, Heirloom, Gold Bond, Therapeutic, Restonic, and Schiffman. Built Right specializes in hard-to-find, flippable, two-sided, and heavy-duty mattresses. They can hold up to 600 pounds. Plus, Built Right offers free delivery and removal on mattress purchases of $7.99 or more. Built Right always saves you money. Shop Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, they're closed to be with family. Tell them Vinny sent you to Built Right at 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Since 1899, Port Washington State Bank has been dedicated to helping small businesses. I'm James Showalter, president of PWSB and a proud resident of Ozaukee County. For over 5 generations, we've been helping businesses in southeastern Wisconsin do more. Our commercial lending team takes the time to listen and provide the care you deserve. We're proud to serve this community, and we'd be proud to serve your business. Stop into Port Washington State Bank today.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here. You've been putting it off all summer long. It's getting into fall now, and you're like, okay, maybe now's the time. Your back pain has just been acting up the shoulders or the hips, and you just have kept putting it off because you don't want the surgery. Well, now's the time, and hey, by the way, you don't need surgery. Call QC Kinetics for lasting relief. Real lasting relief that thousands of others are taking advantage of. People right here in Milwaukee reducing the inflammation and getting their lives back, getting their mobility back. No surgery. And here's the best part, no downtime. So call QC Kinetics now and sit down with them and see if you're a candidate for regenerative treatments. 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. They got locations in Greenfield and in Mequon. Call QC Kinetics today. That number again, 414-285-3474.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for Universal Windows Direct. Replaces old drafty windows before winter sets in. Universal Windows Direct exclusive super spacer technology helps keep your home insulated. Call Universal Windows Direct today. 414-410-2000. For every 2 windows you buy, 2 free. Buy 2, get 2. Buy 20, get 20. There's no limit. Plus, 0% financing for 60 months. Restrictions apply.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Like a waving flag, get older, I will be stronger.
All right, so we expected the flag situation to get kicked. We discussed this on Tuesday's program. What would happen to the Milwaukee flag? This is the one that is blue and yellow. It's got the sun depicting rising over Lake Michigan that a group of do-gooders had created years ago through a contest that someone made and entered and won.
And then people liked it, and they said, why don't we make this the official city flag? And instead of just voting on it and figuring it out, we've been talking about it for better part of a decade.
Yeah, so what happened on Tuesday at the Common Council meeting?
Bureaucracy, legislation, red tape.
I'm so bored.
Doesn't anything fun happen here?
When you work for the local government, doing the bare minimum is doing your part.
It's time to take another visit to City Hall.
All right, Alderman Peter Burgillis, he was the one that was pushing, let's make this flag finally the official flag of the city of Milwaukee. But you and I discussed this yesterday. We wondered, wonder if this is going to get kicked again, if they're going to delay this just because they don't really want to have to make a decision. And the way he started, I thought that's how it was going.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This has been a long 3 weeks of many discussions with colleagues and other stakeholders in the community.
Yeah, a long one. So what's going to happen? Well, Burgillis surprised me. He and Alderman Chambers, who you may recall was a big critic of this flag and said so many times during the hearing last month, they both agreed the best way forward was to put the matter on the ballot, bring the people's flag to the people.
I think the best path forward would be to put this question to voters and let voters decide.
Yes, put it on the April ballot. Little referendum. So would you have to take all the Milwaukee people's flags that might be in any venue where you vote? Would those all have to be taken down because that would be electioneering? Can you imagine? Anyway, so you may ask, well, why would you do a referendum? Why not just vote on the matter? Why not just vote?
Yes,
and if you have a majority of 8-7, then it passes. And if you don't, you don't. Why not just do that?
Yes, why not?
Well, Burgillis says Mayor Johnson has threatened to veto the flag. So they need at least 10 votes to get it to go through that veto process. So they figured, well, this is another way to do that. Let's just do a referendum instead of, the fear of it being vetoed by the mayor. Well, Alderman Bob Bauman was like, well, hold on. In order to make this a referendum, you're talking about like changing the charter. Why would we do this only for a flag?
I get why we want to put it to the people. Fine. I get all that. Understand, referendums are a very dangerous precedent that we'd be setting here. Every controversial issue can be sent to a referendum as a non-advisory triggering referendum, whatever the issue may be.
Yes, that means it'd be used more than just this one time.
Just going to leave this up to the plebeians to decide amongst themselves.
Do you want to hear that again, that
Yes,
start of
please.
it? I do appreciate how he started it. Here it is.
I get why we want to put it to the people. Fine. I get all that.
All right, let the plebs work it out amongst themselves.
Fine. I get that idea. But
I
we
think
did that
his
last
point,
time.
though, was
No,
actually legit, was that what are we doing here if we're not deciding as the elected representatives of the people?
And Alderman Brostoff said that too.
If that's the case, why do we make decisions on much more important things? We should be seeking this action for all sorts of stuff if that's the case, and I don't want to set that precedent.
So in the end, they weren't sure if they wanted to do the referendum or even the legality behind doing the referendum. It was decided they would hold the matter in council. That means it remains unfinished business at least for another month.
Are there any objections to holding it in council? Okay, hearing none, so ordered.
And the can, again, kicked on the flag.
I'm legitimately asking, should you and I even keep covering this? Like, legit. There's part of me that's like, now people are counting on us to tell them what's going on with this. Part of it is illustrative as to how the body works. I'm less interested even in the outcome of the flag and more to show you, like, this is what it's like inside this governing body.
And that's my point to it, is that, like, look, in the council can be frustrated if they want because they actually passed a few things yesterday. And there's some money that was used for ARPA, and there's different things that actually made the news. But this was right out of the gate. Everyone's there. All the cameras are on. And again, this happens. You know how you fix that? You just take care of this. Just vote it in or vote it out. Move on.
8:51 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Coming up, why what I'm not hearing about some sort of announcement today might tell us exactly what that is. You know what I mean, Deb?
Yep.
It's all right if you don't. I'll
Sorry,
explain it.
got a fly going about up to my nose. Okay. All right, well, we've got some delays still left over. Eastbound 894 from the Haylet interchange all the way through the Loomis area. We do still have this accident at the end of the airport spur on southbound Howell. The two left lanes are blocked on Howell, so just be careful there. Some delays there from 92nd Street all the way through the stadium on eastbound 94. Southbound 43 is going to be backed up from just south of Silver Spring down to Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The news you need to know.
Baldwin leaves Hovde 53 to 47% among likely and registered voters.
Well, you won't see Brewers baseball on Valley Sports Wisconsin beginning next season.
Join Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty every weekday from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m.
So I am to believe that is one of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So she's got ties to Milwaukee.
This was huge for Milwaukee, and I didn't realize how much Milwaukee was going to be profiled in this episode. It was all about Milwaukee.
On Wisconsin's Midday News.
Vince Vitrano for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Beautiful fall this time of year, a little crisp in the air. And, of course, on everybody's radar and calendar, our friend Gina Della from Pella. It's her birthday. It's right around the corner. Now, you wouldn't say she looks it, but we are celebrating Gina turning 60 years young this year with a special 0 for 60 offer when you book your appointment by November 8th. You put nothing down on your $3,500 minimum order from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and they'll give you 0% interest on your financing for up to 60 months. You get the look you want for your home, customizable windows and doors, quality tested, innovative features, fold-away hardware, custom colors, ease of maintenance, shades between the glass if you like, integrated roll screens, noise reduction, all options available to you. And stop by the Wisconsin State Fair Expo Center this weekend to see Pella at the Home and Remodeling Show, October 18th through the 20th. You can learn a lot more about all of this and take advantage of this offer right now. Help us celebrate 0 for 60 for Gina's 60th. Certain restrictions apply. Book your appointment by November 8th. Get started today at PellaWI.com.
When is the last time you paid less but got more in return? It happens every day if you or a loved one has Medicare Advantage. $0 copays and an average of $2,500 less out-of-pocket annually. But more benefits like dental, hearing, and vision. More prevention and screenings to keep people healthy. More care for less money. No wonder 33 million seniors choose Medicare Advantage. Visit MedicareAdvantageMajority.org to learn more. Paid for by Medicare Advantage Majority.
When that crisp fall air greets you in the morning, it's time to assess your garden. Now's the perfect time to think about it. WTMJ's John Mercure here for Landworks Wisconsin. They make sure my garden and yard is in perfect shape. They'll do the same for you. Imagine this. Spring flowering bulbs get planted in October and November and then burst into bright daffodils and tulips, brightening up your muddy spring after a long, dark winter. Landworks Wisconsin, they'll do it for you. Give your future self some spring flowers. Let Landworks Wisconsin take care of you like they take care of me. LandworksWisconsin.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Freeze warning should be thawing here by 9 o'clock. Sunny today.
What's happening?
Yeah. Freeze warning. Ugh. High 56 today. Tonight, clear and chilly. Frost inland tonight, a low of 32 degrees inland. Tomorrow looks nice. Thursday, sunny and nice, a high of 64. Forecast sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition.
So happening today, and this is a situation where hearing nothing is actually telling me something about a news story that is ahead. There's a news conference at 11 o'clock today, and here's the official news release on it, and then I'll give you the background. Milwaukee Bucks and FPC Live to provide a construction update on the venue coming to Deer District. This is the about 4,000 capacity concert venue that's going to be just south of Fiserv Forum, so where the Bradley Center used to sit. The pilings are already going in. Like, this is happening. It's already been approved. There had at one point been there was going to be a smaller venue, like 800 seats. That's
done.
Out, so it's just this one. Think of a ballroom-style thing, like the Rave. It'll be similar in size to Eagles Club Ballroom.
Okay.
And they want to book these shows that are kind of tweeners, that are bigger than a Riverside, which is about 2,400 seats, or Pabst or Marcus Center for smaller shows, but not big enough to be an arena show. And so they think there's a sweet spot here for entertainment, and that's why this venue is going up. What is the announcement today? A lot of people involved in this. So you got Peter Fagan from the Bucks, guy who's the CEO of Frank Productions. You got the mayor's going to be there. Alderman Bob Bauman's going to be there. Peggy Williams-Smith, president and CEO of Visit Milwaukee. That indicates
that is a big group.
It suggests to me, right, that it's going to be more than, hey, we're on time, we're on budget. Okay, fine. But like all these people.
Okay, so a big announcement maybe?
All these schedules coordinated. Other thing that indicates to me it could be big is I reached out to several people who have provided for me information before about things like this, and nobody's telling me anything. Like nobody would give anything up. Well, it might be, you might just have to be there.
So what does that mean? It's either something big or...
So it could mean, right, that it's a big enough announcement that nobody wants to step on anybody's toes. Sometimes that happens. When it's a big deal, you're like...
I don't want to be the one who leaks.
Yes, I don't want to be the leak, and I don't want to screw anything up if there are contracts or whatever. So it could be that, which would cause you to think this is a big deal. Or it could be it's so lame, nobody wants to say anything because they know if they tell you the truth, it's just going to be about get a shipment of steel coming in. That you won't even go or pay attention. I don't know which it is.
Oh, man, I hope it's not that.
I'm leaning toward that.
It's not unprecedented for everyone to just get some FaceTime to in a random news conference.
Big announcement. Yeah, to you.
Oh, no.
To somebody, dropping the kids off at school or going to work or about their... I don't know.
I was hoping you were going to say like they would actually announce a show.
I think that's also a possibility.
What, like Coldplay?
Not big. Did you listen to the venue side? They just sold out Camp Randall.
It could be an intimate show.
Yes, an intimate evening with Coldplay. No, maybe it could be a show. I think that would be a good peg. That would be a big announcement.
Love Monkeys, would that disappoint you?
That would disappoint you. You don't want a local cover band for your first big show. No, it would have to be without any offense to the Love Monkeys, who are wonderful. Or Pat McCurdy, or Eddie Butt's band, et al., or the Guffs.
What about Violent Femmes? Does that count?
Ish. 8:59, I guess we'll find out, 11 o'clock on Wisconsin's Morning News. WTMJ Political Power Hour just ahead with Steve Scafidi.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
A strike at the Miller Brewery ended Monday after the group of 43 workers ratified a